Okay, here we go, y'all. Let's see. DJ said late again. Yeah, man. Okay, just wanted to get some things situated first on this update. You know how the system always be updating at crazy times. So I said, let me go ahead and do this update in here first. And then I'll be good to go. Okay. So let me get this thing going here. We'll start in a couple of minutes. There's a few things to talk about. That's weird. All right, what am I looking for here? Okay, StreamYard is weird sometimes. I'm just trying to fix something here. All right. Okay. All right.
This is what needs to be addressed.
Okay. Oh, that's me with the doggone echo. There. Yeah. Okay, so here we go, y'all. Got a few of y'all in here now. Let's see. Running Reedy, Brian Williams, and of course TJ. TJ said he gonna unsub for me being late again, right? Maybe plug this charger in here. And yeah, so just a few things I want to talk about tonight, man. You know, we don't have like a crazy fight weekend. It's supposed to just be kind of a chill one. Not much going on this weekend as far as WMMA. It's like one fight on the card. Who do we got? What is her name? Shanna Young and Gina Mazzani. This Rob Font and Marlon Vera card going down. So yeah, we don't have much going on. I mean, last weekend was crazy. You know, we had a lot of fights. So they can't spoil us with another one like that this weekend, right? We got another one coming up the following weekend, though. What is UFC 274? Okay. All right. So yeah, a few things I wanted to talk about. Like I said, man, I just posted this up today. I said, look, you know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop talking goat. You know, I'm gonna stop talking the goat talk from now on. You know, even when it comes to boxing, even when it comes to boxing, I'm gonna stop talking the whole goat talk, especially with WMMA. You know, the more I think about it with WMMA, there's a lot of things you have to do whenever it comes to being considered not even the greatest of all time, but just like an all time great. You know, when you just go down and say an all time great, you know, that can mean several people, you know, because to be considered a great fighter, I think, you know, they can be like a whole Mount Rushmore fighters, right? Um, they could just be like, okay, this person, that person, and this person, they all lay down the groundwork, right? TJ said he gonna so MJ said, why are you always late? I didn't know I was always late, but when I am late, I have an excuse, you know. Life. Life comes first, you know. So like I said, you know, I'm an adult, so I got adult things to do. So that's what happens whenever when you're growing up. Not everything takes place at the laptop or the MacBook where I can just sit here and, you know, get started all the time. So take it or leave it. Stamina, what's going on? So yeah, like I was saying, goat talk doesn't it doesn't it's not it doesn't really hold a place in this sport. like I said, doesn't really hold a place in boxing as much as it used to, because I don't think people really do their history. The more and more I think about it, like nobody really takes the time out to go back and understand what makes a person great. They just kind of just been throwing the term out. They just been throwing that term out. That's why I want to just talk about this first. So I'm discontinuing it because, like I said, not there's not really a place for any of the fighters in WMMA to have that spot yet. Not even off of 6, 7 title defenses. Not even if they are the first fighter to hold a championship in 2 divisions. Um, 6, 7 years of hard work. That's not enough. You know what I mean? Because to be considered, I think, a legend, or even be considered an all-time great. That's what I'm gonna call it now. Like I said, there's all-time greats, but there's not just one great. So to be considered that, it's like you have to have a a a, a book. It's like having a book. It's like having this book written on your life where there's chapter after chapter after chapter of just you really laying down some type of foundation for the sport, right? And one of the reasons, like I said, I wanted to say that is because you can't really have that argument with a lot of people nowadays. Like I said, there's too many immature people, too many casual fans. Before, when I talk about it with people offline, in boxing, I could discuss it with like some older people that made good points on why they pick so and so as their great one, like a Joe Lewis or Jack Johnson. Like when I sit down and talk with people like that weren't online, they always made good points. And then we'd always agree to disagree or say, okay, maybe all three of these people can be great. All three of these fighters can be great. But now it's like when you ask anybody, they just throw a name out there. They just throw a name out there, say this person can beat that person without even knowing what they've done. And I'm, like I said, I'm guilty of getting caught up in that with some WMMA fighters, saying that, okay, this person's great when they're not even done writing it, when they're not even done writing the story to their journey now. You know what I mean? It's like not even done writing the story to their journey. How can we say they're great? How can we say they really, really, truly are that person? Right. So or that one fighter. And I say that because I was looking at this Clarissa Shields video. Her and like Shakur Stevenson. And they both did separate videos just kind of discussing different fighters. And fighters like Tyson Fury came up, and Clarissa Shields, she was talking about different fighters like Kayla Harrison, Khabib, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, everybody across the combat sports spectrum. And to me, it's like when I see how she was kind of rating some of these fighters and just having to take the time out and say, okay, this person's mid tier, this person's here, and I see a lot of people disagree when she said, uh, I think she put Khabib at like a mid tier and not like a high tier. It kind of upsets people. So I mean, she has her view on that, right? That she rates Tyson Fury is like high tier, calling him like a white Muhammad Ali. I'm just like, mm, you know, I don't know about that. Like, you're so quick to turn. Seem like people and fans are so quick to throw that term around like you're like an Ali. So the more I just think about it, I'm like, wow, like that's how people really see it. Like the minute you just accomplish a little bit in the sport, you write a couple of chapters in your book, it's like, oh, this person's great. We ready to throw a crown on them and say they're a legend. So I think nowadays people just don't understand what it is about laying that groundwork. So I say, I mean, I'm gonna stop it all together. I have my fighters that I consider great ones, but it's not really a discussion I can have with everybody because I don't think everybody does that type of research, you know? So yeah, having Khabib at like a mid tier, she put I think Kayla Harrison on the same level. I was like, wow, this is crazy. So this is what it looks like from the outside looking in, like just looking at how somebody rates their fighters and how they feel like. So I can't really push how I feel on people, who I think is a great one. I mean, put Ali up here because yeah, I'm gonna always consider him my greatest heavyweight of all time. Because the groundwork that he laid and everything he's done, and I don't think anybody's ever really come close to that. Maybe except like, well, in the past, the Jack Johnsons and like Joe Lewis's, those type of fighters, but nobody nowadays have really like touched that. So I think I still do have that conversation with mature people, or I will, offline. But it's not just something you can have with anybody. I think it's people that have to understand, like, oh man, like what this person did in and out the ring is sacred. I think it's really something everybody can follow, you know. And then, like I said, listening to Shakur just say, okay, Tyson Fury, everybody can have their opinion. Just hearing him say, okay, Shakur Stevens said, Tyson Fury can beat Muhammad Ali, because he's so big and, he's 300 pounds, he's this tall. Like I said, that I disagree with that. Okay, that's his opinion. But when you see one man just do, just only have like a certain number of fights, and then you already want to say, okay, this person's better than this legend that you haven't even probably studied because you're just still a kid. It's like, man, like you really have to think about what you say first. Like, so it's just not an argument you can really have with people now. Lafayette, what's going on? Mojo, what's up? Yeah, it's not really Ernest Richardson said, dang, jury duty trying to come get him. Shoot, you better answer that call. Shoot, you better not be ducking. You know what happens if you duck that jury duty. Anyways, um, yeah, GOAT. It's just not something I can discuss like that. I mean, if you tell me who's hot now, who's the best fighter today, yeah, we can always have that discussion. You know what I mean? Because uh that's what it is, right? Right now. It's right now. It's going by accomplishments. That's right in your face. Who has the belt? Who's got the accomplishments? Who's got the accolades that they can go off of? So yeah, that's what it is. But like all time, it's really just whoever you feeling. It's really just about who you feel. And when you look at WMMA, I think it's just too early to tell, man. It's just too early to have that argument because you're gonna have that argument. People say, okay, Valentine's the greatest. No, Nunes is. And to me, I think it takes a mixture of things. Like it takes that skills and resume to be considered a great one. But even then, it's like there's certain chapters you have to go through. Lafayette said, I think Lennox Lewis would beat all. I think he would beat Fury, but I don't think he would beat Ali. But yeah, he's like my second. I'd say Lennox Lewis is like my second heavyweight. Well, I'd say Ali's my first, Jack's second. Lennox Lewis is probably third. Just after watching what I could of Jack Johnson, and what he's created, even back in the day, I'll probably say he's like my third or my second. Maybe right up there, maybe right up there, first sharing it with Ali. So, see, even me, like, it switches around sometimes, you know? Make sure y'all hit that like button, though. Like 12, 13 people in here. Let's go ahead and, all right. Okay, there we go. Just checking something on my phone. Yeah, Jamin said Nunes is still the GOAT, but man, her losses are pathetic. I almost want to discount her for that reason. Well, it's like I said, it's gonna come down to how she bounces back because her story's not done yet. Like that's a big part, I think, of making a decision on who's the greatest. Like to be the greatest, I think you can't be active now. Like you have to say, okay, this person is either at the they're at the end of their career, and you still have something to go back on, and just say, okay, this person's done this, they've done that, they bounced back from losses, they were able to influence the fighters around them. Sometimes they're a pioneer, you know, but it's hard to do it like when they're still in their prime or they're in the midst of their career. Like Nunes, yeah, she's probably one of the ones that's could be near hers because she's been in reigning for quite some time now. But I think the chapter that is really going to decide that is how she bounces back with this rematch with Juliana Pena, you know? So that's one of the reasons why I just stopped to think about it today. I was like, you know what? Like, I can't have this argument no more because it's like I the conversation I have with people in face to face is really different sometimes because I can we go deep sometimes. We go deep on it. Like sometimes I'll talk with my partners about boxing for like like 3-4 hours straight face to face, not just reading chats like here. Yeah, we sit here 2 to 3 hours of talking, but I mean like face to face, I can kind of go in and show them some things, show them some clips, and say, okay, this is why I think this person's good. This one here is good. This person here is good, right? But one of the things that I never ignore when I'm breaking that down is just like saying this person, this fighter has done it their way, by chapter and chapter by chapter. They keep writing these chapters in their life in the fight game, and each one is something that's really entertaining and spectacular. You know what I mean? Like it really says, wow, this person's really they're really it. They really are that fighter, So you have to kind of give them props. Like everybody, it's almost universal. It's almost universal where everybody has to agree on it, right? Because they're doing the things they're supposed to. They got the skills. They got the resume. If they lose, how do they bounce back from a loss? Hang on for a second. Got a delivery here. Got to answer my door. Hold on. Hang on. I ain't disappear. Y'all heard what I said. So hang tight. All right, I'm back. See, Zaman heard what I said. He gonna have sound. I just said I had to go answer the door. Okay. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Um, yeah, I think, when I have that conversation in person with people, like I said, we kind of delve into it really deep and we just talk about like each chapter of a fighter. So let's look at it with WMMA. I see y'all talking about let me see GDR a little bit. Let's see. GDR, Nunes, um, different names that's coming up. Of course, the usual like Valentina. Uh, let's see. Zaman said Nunes is GOAT, undoubtedly, but is a quitter. Bully mentality, no back foot game, all at all. One route of intensive work, the level of WMMA. Well, I mean, your statement's kind of contradictory. I mean, like if you said she's a GOAT, but she's all of these other things, I mean, how can you say that she's a GOAT then? Like, because I think to be a great one, you can't really be considered, with this many flaws, huh? Just one round of intensive work. Like, you really make it sound like she doesn't have that work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's like, do you really? Are you just saying that? Are you just trolling, or what are you talking about? Like, she's a quitter. Because to be a GOAT, you can't be a quitter. to be a GOAT, you really can't be a quitter. I mean, like, she got submitted by Juliana Pena. That's it. Like, a lot of fighters in MMA get submitted, but they're still considered great. So I mean, like, if you're saying she's a quitter, to me, one of the things to be a, a great one, you can't be a quitter. That doesn't sound like part of the story to be inspiring or even say, okay, that's influential that this person's a quitter. So how you calling her a quitter off of how she reacted to being submitted? You know? Let me see. GDR is nowhere close to be a GOAT, and beating flyweight won't do anything. Yeah, like GDR, again, that's not even really in the talks to me. Um, MMA Art said Amanda will never be a GOAT unless she rematches Chris Cyborg, especially after losing to Pena the way she lost. GOATs will never get beat like that. See, I can agree with your statement a little bit more, MMA, because like you can't say a person's a great one, then say they're a quitter, right? You can't say that, okay, this person's great, and then say, oh, they're a bully, they're a quitter, they have weaknesses, they quit, they fight one round. That doesn't sound like a great one. But I mean, MMAR just go straight down the line. He said she'll never be a GOAT until she rematches Chris Cyborg, especially after the way she lost to Pena. Okay, so to me, I think, and then he said GOATs will never get beat like that. Okay, that's a better argument. But I think she does have the potential to be that, depending on how she ends her career. If she can bounce back from it and wrap up her career and just say, I can go out on top, you know? Like, again, that statement, it just doesn't really hold weight with a lot of these fighters right now, because I think they still have a lot to do. Like, of course, Valentina, she's on that path where she'll be talked about as one like that. But even then, you never know what could happen until she's fully done with it. And I don't even think, like I said, they don't like to be considered that because they're still working. There's still a lot for them to do. And they know that it's kind of subjective where they can say, okay, this person, no, they're better than me. You know what I mean? Even though they're impressing you, like Valentina can impress you, but she might say, no, this person over here should be considered the GOAT, you know? So for me, I just say, as my final conversation on it, and this ain't, like I said, this ain't even a conversation about who is the GOAT. It's just why I want to not really go into this anymore, which I really don't. You know what I mean? Like, I just talk about who's considered the best now, which is Nunes and Valentina, but I'm not really argue about it. Never really have. But and like I said, when it comes to boxing, that's my all-time great right there. you know, I think that moving forward, like the younger generation and even like the fanboys of long time, they really need to start doing their research more and get out of their feelings when they make the judgment of the fighters that they talk about and how they approach it, you know? Because yeah, like the younger generation, man, they talk crazy. Like, well, there was a time when I was growing up, people would always say, even when Mike Tyson was the thing, they would say, oh, Mike Tyson, he would knock Muhammad Ali out, and I thought, even as a kid, I thought that was disrespectful. I was like, man, no way. I was like, no way, man. Ali, he's handled the best of his generation. They would say this, say that. So I can kind of see where the youth now comes from with that as well. But measuring somebody from one era to the other, it doesn't really work. It's never going to happen. And, times change. So there's never really like a point where that argument's ever going to become relevant. Like when you say, granted, that would be a nice thing to see. Like if you could somehow go back in time and grab Ali in his prime and Mike in his prime and put them in like some cross dimensional promotion type thing, that would be cool, right? But that can never happen. So everybody's done their part. That's what it is. Like everybody's done their part to be an all-time great. So you can be an all-time great. There's just not one in this in this world of WMMA. But I even think then that these women are still um, laying down this groundwork in a sport that hasn't been around in a long enough, like boxing. Boxing can have maybe it's one or two that you think, okay, this person, this fighter, that fighter, because this is a sport we're talking about that it comes back from way back, right? It's a sport that's been practiced for years, centuries. So there's so much more to go on, so many chapters in a lot of fighters' books that have come and gone. This sport here, though, yeah, it's just like we kind of making it up as we go. Some people say, okay, this person ain't great because they quit. This person great because they can't fight off the back foot. You know, not every great boxer in history could not fight off the back foot, right? So I appreciate that, Todd Jones. He said, great show. Yeah, man. Like I said, I just wanted to speak on just speak on this whole thing. Like I said, because I get tired of it. Especially when I see other fighters getting into it and making their judgment and today was just that day where I said, that's enough of that. Like, you can't do cross era matchups. You can't really do that. Let's do the matchups that just are for now. You know. TJ said, I love how fans who can't fight decide that a loss puts a good pro fighter out of GOAT talks. That too. That too, man. Like, yeah, that's a big part of it. That's why I say, like, it's it's not on the fans to say this person can never be a GOAT or never be an all-time great. Let me see. Brian Williams said losing the fight doesn't erase what you've done before that. Right. All right. I'm just kind of scrolling back up. Stamina said the GOAT isn't necessarily held to an absolute standard or set of criteria. They only need to have done more than all their peers. Again, over time, things can and will change. Right. Yeah, it's just like a book, I said, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a book that you put out there, and it seems to cover the majority of what's needed to please the fight game, and it holds the fight game to a standard in a way, right? Because in boxing, without Ali calling himself the great, you wouldn't have had a lot of these other fighters come along, like Floyd Mayweather saying he's TBE, the best ever. Fighters like him, fighters like Roy, uh, James Toney, whoever, a lot of these fighters in between, even Tyson Fury now, right? What Ali did, he set a standard for boxing. So it's not necessarily that you have everything covered, but how he did it, the time period when he did it, and what he accomplished with what he did and what he possessed, it set a standard for it, right? Wasn't that he did everything. Like, he wasn't like a puncher like Mike, didn't fight like George, didn't have a pressure style like Joe Frazier, he could get hit by left hooks. That's how he got knocked down a few times in his fights. Didn't have the greatest punching power, but it was how he did it and how he set his standard. And I think with, fighters like Amanda, she could still be that an all-time great, of course. Like I said, that's how I'm gonna phrase it now. She can be an all-time great, even though she's been stopped, even though she doesn't have the best cardio. You don't have to have the best cardio to be an all-time great. It's how you make up for it. It's how, let's say, come July, how you bounce back from that loss, right? How you bounce back from that loss is going to say she's an all-time great. Even then, if she doesn't, even then, if she loses, she's still going to go down as an all-time great because of who she beat and all of these fighters that have, crumbled to her pressure and her power, and she's held 2 belts. So she'll go down as an all-time great because she's laid the groundwork. She set a standard here. Valentina still wants to fight her. Um, Juliana Pena was chasing her. She got it. She got a name off of her. So when you can influence like a whole, a whole roster of women, across different organizations, Cyborg still be mentioning her name, you are considered an all-time great, I think. You will be that, right? TJ said, Nunes doesn't have to prove anything by rematching Chris. I like to see it, but fluke talk is another weak excuse. Yeah, just like that fight, man. Like I picked Nunes to win that fight, and it wasn't a fluke. It was how the fight was approached at the time. Nobody can say, "Oh, Chris wasn't technical enough." It was the fact that she chose to fight off of emotion, and what you bring into a fight is what we're accepting, right? So if you come in there swinging for the fences, and this person here catches your rhythm, fighting you off the back foot, and they're a hard puncher, and they figure that out on what to do, they earn that victory 100%. Amanda Nunes earned that thing 100%. It wasn't a fluke. Rose, she earned that victory over Zhang Wei Li 100%. You know, I picked Zhang Wei Li to win the first fight, but hey, I said, look, if she goes into a counter striking mode with Rose and Rose pinpoints the accurate shot like she did to Joanna as well, those aren't flukes. Those are chapters in their book that can, push them to all time great status, you know? Let's see. MJ said MMA art, that fight was not a fluke. If Arlene Blinko can put hands on Cyborg, what do you expect from Amanda Nunes? Well, Sinead O'Connor. Sinead Kavanaugh. Sinead Kavanaugh put hands on her as well, right? That first round, she landed that left hook right hand, I think. I mean, Cyborg's was harder. That's why she hit the canvas. But Sinead Kavanaugh put hands on her. Yeah, Sinead Kavanaugh put hands on her too. So she can be hit. It's all in if you got the power and the accuracy. So with her having that spotty defense in some of these fights when she gets reckless, what do you think Amanda Nunes is going to do with with bricks in her hands, right? She's got bricks. But yeah, anyways, yeah, we can always have a Mount Rushmore of fighters that we consider the great, a pioneer, a list of fighters that we consider are great in WMMA right now. But I don't really think there's one above the other that's going to say this person is the greatest of all time. That's it. They wrote the book. This is this is the standard that we see everybody held to now. You know, I think it's going to be a long time before you can really start making that argument. Before you can start singling out one fighter. I mean, again, Nunes and Valentina, they're the two that you see. Even some people, Ronda Rousey, don't get mad at me. Ronda Rousey is one of those fighters that people still kind of throw in that. We can make an argument on why not, but Ronda set a great standard to the game as far as entertainment, dominance. She's got fighters like Kayla Harrison trying to follow her blueprint. She feels haunted because she can't get to that level of exposure like Ronda. So all of that stuff has to be taken into consideration. Again, like I'm not one to say I don't consider Ronda, like I said, I mean, I don't consider Ronda Rousey like the greatest, but there are people out there that do, and I'm not gonna argue with them anymore. If they feel that way, fine. That's okay. Brian Williams said, like you said, the story hasn't been written yet. Talking goat, man, the cyborg Valentina is premature because neither of them is close to retirement, as far as anyone knows. Right? Yeah, exactly. Those are your names that you have now. Those are the names that people depend on. You know what I mean? Like I said, their stories are still going, but they're the names that people like to go straight to because everything is coming up roses for them right now, except for Nunes, right? And that's all we have to go off of. These three being so dominant. So just like in the early days, boxing, like everybody thought, what is his name? The racist champion that didn't want to fight Jack Johnson. Like in the very beginning, everybody thought he was great, right? Until the game evolved and better champions came along. What is his name? Why is his name blanking right now? It was the 4th of July fight. I think I did a report on this and a video on this fight back in the day. Hold on. Well, he came out of retirement. Jim Jeffries. You know what I mean? Like way back in the day, he was considered the standard for boxing, but even then, it was kind of premature to say this person was great. Jim Jeffries. But the minute Jack Johnson came along, of course, I know the argument is, oh, he was on a long layoff, but Jack Johnson, beat him. You know, um, there's always that situation like everybody's going to gravitate towards who's big. Yeah, thanks. That's what I meant, Jim Jeffries. Yeah, everybody's going to gravitate towards what's hot now, but as the game expands, there are going to be more names. So yeah, I understand why people go to them, but yeah, their chapter ain't done yet. So 20, 30 years from now, where it's really going to be bigger and more evolved, hopefully, maybe one day when I'm old man, if I'm an old man still on here talking, I'm an old man on here still talking, right? We're gonna see if Valentina Nunes still hold up to that standard, or we're gonna see if there's new names in that category. Or we're gonna be talking like, oh man, 30 years back, Valentina was the best one to do it. You know what I mean? We're gonna see if we ever get to that level where fighters are gonna be fans are gonna be making that argument. Lafayette said Rocky Marciano. Yeah, he's one that people think is a great one. I personally don't, because of the resume. I actually studied his resume, broke it down, sat down and watched who he fought, and I was just like, I don't see enough people on there, but people think he's a great one just off a resume. So there's a lot of men still talking. Oh, I'm gonna be real late, TJN boy. He said still late, still talking, still late. Oh, I'm gonna be real late then. Boy, I'm gonna be like an hour late. I'm gonna be sleep on the mic. I'm gonna hit live on the mic and I'm gonna be snoring. Jim Corbett. Yeah. Jim Corbett was one. Yeah, Jim Corbett. Yeah. Ironic he called his name, Gentleman Jim, and he's even the writer, Jack London, the guy that wrote, was it Call of the Wild, that author, he hated Jack Johnson too. They made us read that book in school too. I was like, okay, they teaching us about this guy, huh? Anyways, that's another story. Stamina said a person is the GOAT until someone proves otherwise. Ain't nothing wrong with that. A person is the GOAT until someone proves otherwise. A person is the GOAT until someone proves otherwise. I guess you say a fighter is a GOAT until someone proves otherwise. Proves, or you mean beats him? He said he still want to be part of the gang 30 years. Yeah. I don't even know if we're going to be called a gang by then. We're going to probably be called Breaker Bones by then. Brittle Bones. Lafayette said he fought an old Joe Louis. Yeah, he fought an old Joe Louis, old Archie Moore, old Jersey Joe. Or, a lot of small guys on his resume too, man. Tom said you already old. He said 40 plus. Nope. I mean, I'll be there soon, but I'm gonna flaunt that age. Hey, I ain't gonna deny it when I get there. I don't feel it, so yeah, I'll definitely tell you. I just won first place in a race the other day in my age group. Yes, so yeah, I still got it. I can still hang with the 16-year-olds and 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds when I'm out here racing. So hey, when I'm 40, I'll when I'm 40, I'll rock it. I'm still hanging. MMA Art said if Nunes lost to Pena again, she'll probably retire. You think so? MJ says it's a shame that some people were saying that the first fight from Andrade versus Nunes was a fluke. You mean Lemos? Andrade Lemos, MJ? Because if so, we'll talk about that. Stamina said Breaker Commune. Yeah, Breaker Commune, man. That's what it is. Yeah, C Lafayette said he 45. He said he work out 5 times a week. That's what it is. Yeah. Shoot, I'm taking a little break, but I be running 30 miles a week. Do my 30 miles a week. Just ran a half marathon back in March. And didn't even stop. You know? Yeah, Jack London wrote the article, The Negro Showed Yellow. Yeah, that's right. Yep. I recommend, was it Unforgivable Blackness, the Jack Johnson story. It's like a 3 to 4 hour documentary. I got the book too. It's, good, good, good story. I mean, it's a part of American history that people don't really want you to hear. But it's true. Like I said, it ain't something that people will say, "Oh, you making this up." No, like this is a part of history that people don't really talk about. I'm looking at the book right now. Unforgivable Blackness, The Rise and Fall of Jack Johnson. Good book. Good documentary. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, okay. MJ said Rose, Andrade Rose. They're saying that fight was a fluke. Who said that, MJ? I mean, who said it and what makes it a fluke? Tell me that, and then we'll talk about it if you want to talk about it. TJ said, "Can I say I do 50 miles a week if I do it in my car?" You do 50 miles a week in the car? Yeah, sure. I think maybe everybody is older than 20, Zaman, because for the most part, the conversation is always good. I mean, everybody has their moments, but for the most part, everybody seems to be mature, right? Let's see, racing on Xbox. MMR is 26. Okay. Lafayette said, I think Pena has a chance. She made me a fan because of her confidence. Yeah, she's got a great chance to do it again. There's a lot riding on this fight. Okay, so yeah, man. Final thoughts. Not as far as the show, but final thoughts on this segment. Yeah, Goat Talk. It can be like I said, Goat Talk can be discontinued, man, because particularly for WMMA, because stories are still open, right, Brian? Most of y'all like stories are still open, chapters are still being written. Bumps in the road can happen and knock people off course, and something that can just take away status altogether can still happen. You know what I mean? So for now, we're just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it off of my discussions. Like if you catch me slipping, just say, shut up with that goat talk. You know what I mean? Which I'm never gonna do. Uh no filter BJ. BJ, what's going on? He said, what's up? Let me go ahead and click on that. He said, what's up, gang? Shout out to CB99 the guru. I'm listening, but I'm working. Yeah, get that work in, man. Get to work in. Get to work in. So while he working, I can talk all kinds of trash about BJ right now, right? Unless he send that cap locks where he said link, then I definitely got to send it out, right? Okay, MJ said these hypocrites were Rose fans and hating Jessica for slamming her on her head. Now they are hating on Jessica again for that standing submission. You know what? I read I was reading some comments. What do y'all think about this? Um, okay, Brian said the game is evolving. Yeah, another part. Yeah, Goat Talk for WMMA is discontinued over here. One final time. So just so you know, BJ, Goat Talk is discontinued on this channel. It's discontinued on this channel because that's one of the reasons right there. Right, Brian said the game is evolving so fast, anything can happen. This game is still young. Uh, we don't have enough to go off of yet to really write these these next few pages on what's gonna happen in the sport. There's just good fighters right now. There's champions, good fighters, pound for pound fighters for today. You know? Yeah, he said it's trash anyway. It is, yeah. It is. It is. Okay, so MJ said these hypocrites were Rose fans that hating on Jessica for slamming her on her head. Now they're hating on Jessica for their standing submission. Okay, so real quick, a while back I was reading the comment sections on the Andrade KO of Rose, right? And there were a lot of people saying that after that slam, they were saying that the slam should be illegal now. What do y'all think about that? I mean, nobody said that. Nobody has said that until it happened to Rose. So is it just a lot of like Rose fanboys, Rose simps that are feeling that way? Or did they really feel for somebody's welfare? Because if they did, like they would have seen that happen to other people and they would have like came to their rescue as well. But like whenever it happened to Rose, everybody's saying Andrade is this, she's a dirty fighter, she's that. I used to look at the slam and say, wow, like I used to have my ways that I felt about it too, but I was like, there's always a way to shut it down. If you're a good fighter, you shouldn't fall into that mode. And I'm like, this is MMA. And I think it really just looks brutal who is done to. But I hear a lot of people like in these comment sections, they're like, man, they should declare the slam illegal. Rose should be not Rose, but Andrade should be penalized for that. I'm like, why? Like, why only whenever it happened to her? You know? Yeah, okay. See, yeah. Brian said, okay, let's get the story straight. Slam someone on their head is illegal unless they are attacking a submission. Then it's legal. That's why Jessica Andrade was a legal slam. Right. Right. That's what I said. When I saw it, that was a legal slam. But everybody was so quick to say, oh, that's an illegal slam. you know. But like you said, slam someone on their head is illegal. Of course, slamming somebody on the head is illegal, kneeing them while they're down, eye pokes, etc. But unless they're attacking a submission, then it's legal. You know. So it's it's really just a mixture of the Rose fanboys and the Andrade haters that are trying to categorize these as like, okay, this one's a fluke, this one's an illegal move. The Lemos fight wasn't the Lemos fight. It wasn't a fluke. It was a. Would it happen again? Possibly, but would it happen again against Lemos? I doubt it, because you see, even Rose couldn't catch Way Lee with the head kick because things change. Things change. But Andrade gets full credit for what she did. She gets full credit for she gets full credit for what she did. Against Lemos, to me, because it came down to her just using her natural ability. Like a lot of the things that she does is just natural. Like how she throws a punch may not be the best technical punch, but when it lands and it knocks you out, it works. Will she do it again? Maybe not. Her using her pure gorilla strength on you like that might not happen again. She just so happened to catch Lemos slipping, locked her up, and said, you know what, this move feels good. We're not going anywhere. Supposedly she trained for it, right? She trained for it. It said it came a little bit earlier than I expected, and I'm not letting go because she doesn't seem to be strong enough to get out of it. So let's just hold it right here. So I've said this in my, breakdowns too, when it comes to uh Andrade's fights. Andrade's fights are like my basic thing I always say is stay away from her. Just stay away, because that's how her strength is. It could be a slam, it could just be her squeezing you. It could just be her, choking you out, or just pile driving you. So it wasn't a fluke. It was just her acting on what came natural. And it's something they worked on, and that just came natural. Let's see. BJ said, "What's funny is the same people call the slam early stoppage." Really? They called it early stoppage? Ooh, she was out. Ooh, the way Rose looked when she fell on her neck like that. Ooh. He said MMA art said Andrade slams people all the time, not just when they're attacking submission. Yeah, she go at it, man. But yeah, like I said before, looking at how she slams people, yeah, it can be kind of brutal. And my thing is like when I was seeing her do this before, I used to ask that question too. I'd be like, dang, man. I was like, that's a move. Because I'm still kind of new to all of these moves. I was like, that's a move. I was like, that is pretty brutal. It is kind of brutal in a way, but my thing is like, I've only heard people try to come to Rose's rescue with that. Like when she slammed other people like that, nobody's really said anything. So I'm just like, why can't y'all be across the board with it? Just be across the board all the way. But yeah, since y'all bring that up, yeah, just cover that real quick. Yeah, Lemos, um, Andrade's win, it was it's legit. It was legit. Could she do it again? Maybe not in the first round, but I think she could do it again. That's how strong she is, though. Like the same way she slams people because she's so powerful. I think she could do it again, man. Like I think she could do it again. All she got to do is like get you to the cage, soften you up, get that underhook, put your arm up in the air. Shoot, why is nobody stopping her slam? Like you saw how unstoppable she looked here. So I think she could do it again. Maybe not in the first round, like I said, but eventually she could get it. Hey, Lafayette said Rose's toes curled up. Yeah, that's still very brutal. Yeah, early stoppage. Somebody wanted to see Rose in a casket. You say she was early stoppage? Crazy. Yeah, Brian said it was the position was a fluke, but he said the finish wasn't. Yeah, the finish wasn't. The position coming in that fashion in that early, okay, maybe I could see that as a fluke, but I think she could do it again. MJ said, "Do you think that Lemos can beat Rose?" Mm. Let me see. Do you think Lemos can beat Rose? Like, I think she can beat Rose. Oh man. Can she beat Rose? Lemos is still dangerous though. Let me talk about that first before I jump to the next topic. Lemos is still a dangerous fighter now. Lemos can still hang now. Like Andrade is Andrade. I'm gonna keep saying that. Andrade is Andrade. Excuse me. Andrade is Andrade, and Lemos is still, I think, a very, very good fighter. She still has a good level of striking that I think is better than some of the strawweights in the division. I think she could hang with somebody like Marina Rodriguez, give them problems. Just because I was looking back at some of Marina's fights, and I think Lemos has some things that could make it a very competitive fight there. Tisha, she thinks she would give Tisha some problems. So there's still some fighters that she could beat. But her beating Rose, I think she has the abilities to do it, but it's really hard to say if she can. I mean, she does have a good calf kick that's good on breaking Rose down. But whose IQ is higher when it comes to striking? Whose boxing IQ is higher? That's going to be the question. She could win. I mean, yeah, she could win. I think she has some good tools that could go in that fight. But right now, I would lean more towards Rose just because of the momentum and where her mind state is right now. Like if we're talking about right now, I don't think she could because mentally I don't think she would be in it like that. I don't think what she's how she's been preparing now is going to prepare her for Rose. Like we're just talking in the now. I would have to say Rose. Yeah, I would favor Rose. Could she sting her? I mean, yeah, she probably could sting her, but I think Rose will recover and Rose might put some combinations on her and that ground game it might come into play here for Rose. I think her wrestling's gotten better and she's gotten stronger too. Yeah, like there's levels to the game. There's levels to the game. That's why I just can't say okay. Lemos hasn't. She's. I still think she's a good fighter and she could be there, but she's not doing what she needs to do, making statements like against Angela Hill and Andrade. She hasn't done enough to say she's in that talk. She's number 11 right now. So I'm not just saying because Rose is champion. I mean, well, yeah, I am. I'm saying because Rose is champion. I'm not saying because look, one loss against Lemos, because yeah, I'm still gonna. Well, one loss against Andrade is what makes her like this bad fighter. No, not at all. But Rose is the champion. Rose is the champion for a reason. Like, look at the resume she's faced. Again, I give Lemos a chance against some of these other top strawweights, and maybe along the way, if she develops, she could possibly give her a good fight. But right now, I'd say in the now, Rose would be that fighter. She would still come out with the title defense if she fought Lemos. Let's see. TJ said Rose has power. Well, accuracy and timing. Hey, accuracy and timing equal power because it's just enough power to get that person's attention. So speed kills or accuracy, timing, accuracy, turning over your punch right. That does translate to power. Putting those right, those two knuckles right down the right on the right on the chin. I actually don't even think that would be a fight where you need the judges, TJ. Like I think Rose could do that though. I think she could do it on her own. Let's see. Brian Williams said Rose haters are worse than Rose fanboys. I disagree with that. I think they're about. Let me see. I was gonna say even, but I don't know. Rose fanboys, they come over here and they get sensitive. They unsubscribe when I just call facts. So no, Rose fanboys are worse. Exactly, TJ. Down the pipe. Yeah, Rose fanboys are the worst. Like because, like I said, if I just make some actual factuals, they get sensitive about that. I'm not supposed to give them reality. I'm supposed to say she's perfect or again the goat. You know what I mean? So, nah, Rose fanboys are worse. Like I haven't really came across too many Rose haters that on my channel that have really said anything crazy, or if they have been around, they haven't really said anything out of line. Maybe I ignored it. Maybe I didn't see it. But I think the fanboys can always be a little worse because they totally deny reality sometimes. Not just for Rose, but any fanboy of any fighter kind of denies reality and just like I said, they um they don't have conversations that make sense. Gabriella said, if Carla wins the belt again, how does Carla Marina 2 go? I think Carla Marina is still a competitive fight. I think it'll be a competitive fight. I think it's going to come down to whoever makes the right improvements from the last fight. I know it might sound generic. Gabriella, but it's true. Like whoever learned the most from the first fight, I think they will be that victor, and it won't be as close. So if Carla goes in there more confident in her wrestling, and she knows how to get in on some of the things that Marina does wrong. Like there's a few things I see Marina do in her last few fights that could cost her a fight if you pick up on it. I think Carla could get the victory. But then there's Marina. Like if Marina can home in and improve her takedown defense, because she's still getting taken down. She's still getting taken down. So it's really going to just come down to who's improved on what the most to make it more one-sided. But mm, it'll be a good fight. It'll be a good fight. I can still see Carla winning though. I can see it going either way, really, but I can see Carla. It's not really going to be like a dangerous, scary fight for Carla. Carla has a better chance against Marina than she does Andrade any day. So that should tell you that it can be a competitive fight. TJ said, I'm almost subscribed. I almost unsubscribed once due to unfair and untrue comments about Claudia Gadelia by Robert Henry and yourself. Hey, you know how I do, man. I'll go in on her, man. I'm gonna pull up that Andrade and Claudia fight right now. You gonna unsubscribe and block me after I break that thing down. Brian Williams said Rose haters can't give her credit for anything. She's not perfect, but according to the haters, she ain't nothing. That's the thing right there. See, that's how you got to read people, Brian. When somebody hates somebody, that means they are doing something right. Hating somebody means they are doing something right. So the haters aren't as bad as the fanboys because they know she's doing something right. That's why they hate her. Like when you're a star, people love you and hate you. They hate you because you're doing it right. People that love you, they love you because you're doing it right and they're inspired by you. But people that hate you, they know you are doing something right. So they're not admitting it. But the fact that they're hating is enough. It's enough truth right there. That's enough proof that they are truly closeted fans of that fighter, right? Because they know you are winning. That's why they're looking. That's why they're like, oh man, this person right here, hate him. Why you hate him? Because they beat your favorite fighter, right? You know what I mean? So that's what it is, man. Like, that's what it is. Like, that's why when haters see it, it's like, okay, they got their opinion, but they know that she's still a good fighter. They deep down they know they are. But like my thing with fanboys is that they defy logic and they really get personal. Like I said, I never really had anybody that hated Rose, get it personal with me. Cause I'm just telling when I tell the truth about her skills, they can't deny it. They can't deny it. When I talk about her resume, you can't deny it. When I talk about her weaknesses, you can't deny it. When the fanboys hear me talk about her weaknesses, they like, oh man, like, how dare you? I'm like, whatever, man. Genesis, what's going on? She said she took a whooper. Who is that? Who took that a whooper? You talking about Nunes? Nunes. Let's see. Okay. Oh, she said Claudia. Yeah, exactly. Claudia did. Yeah, you heard Genesis, TJ. You gonna block her too? Claudia took a beat down. I know TJ crying right now, but Claudia took a beat down. Good thing she retired, though. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, good thing she retired because she wasn't evolving. Claudia was not evolving. That's a scary thing. I mean, Angela Hill beat her, in my opinion. TJ, don't you think? Angela Hill whooped her too. Angela Hill dropped Claudia in that fight. See, you done started something now. But let me go on. Gordon Morris, He said, "What distinguishes a fan from a fanboy?" Well, a fan to me is someone that's a fan of a fighter. Their style, their look, the hard work they put in. They're a fan of their fights. They're a fan of that person maybe because they lived through them a little bit. They're a fan of their journey. They're a fan of their backstory. Um, but a fanboy is everything that I was describing earlier, Gordon. A fanboy is sensitive. A fanboy is delusional. A fanboy, like I said, they unsubscribe to channels when things don't go their way. Fanboy defies logic almost. Fanboy fanboy always picks their fighter, even when they know they're gonna lose, which is no problem. You go for your fighters, right? You go for your fighters. But a fanboy is a fanboy. What else can I say about them? Sensitive, trash talker, out of realm trash talker, to the point where they're calling you names. Very well. I don't want to offend nobody on this one. Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, fanboy. Yeah, fanboys, all of that stuff, Gordon. To me, that's if you're asking me personally, that's what I think it is. Like, I'm a fan of a lot of fighters. You know, BJ thinks I'm a fanboy of Manon Firo, but I am not. I'm a fan of Manon Firo. I'm just telling you the truth on what I see about her. I'm a fan of her style, but you know, Gigi said Angela Hill beat that ass. Yeah, she did. See, well, Genesis TJ said Claudia is a Hall of Famer. Is this true? What do you think, Genesis? Is Claudia Gadelia a Hall of Famer? That's sidebar conversations for you to. Brian said the thing about fanboys and haters is that they're both unreasonable. You really can't talk to them, and that's not the ones regarding Rose. I mean, in general, like I said, I'm not even gonna focus on the Rose fanboys or haters at this point. It's with anybody. Anybody's gonna be unreasonable. Like when you hate something, you're unreasonable. When you hate a race, when you're racist, you're unreasonable. You talk crazy. You act stupid. A racist person is unreasonable. A simp is unreasonable because they blinded by the you know what when they simp over a woman. So all of that stuff. I said we just talking here. So anybody that's really like out there with a unhealthy obsession, well, obsession and an obsession to me right away is unhealthy. So you know, uh, you're gonna be unreasonable. You're gonna be unreasonable. Claudia was dropped. Wasn't Claudia was dropped. Claudia was dropped. Claudia was dropped. TJ said Genesis is just trying to upset me. She knows Claudia's the top 5 of the era, weight class, or organization. Nah. Uh, she's top 5. Or she's depending on where the top 5 is. Like you mean top 5 of 30 through 35? I'm just playing. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, that's my thoughts on Lemos though. I think Lemos she's still game. Let's see, Colton, what's going on? Colton, you seen him in man? He said BJ borderline fanboy Silver Montana. Don't bring BJ out. BJ working, but he listening. He said fanboys over Montana. MMR, if you are a goat, you have to prove it like Rose did. Nunes ran away with that fluke. Oh no. Rose ain't a goat yet, man. You know what? What did I say? I ain't no more goat talk for me. I mean, if you wanted the goat talk, go ahead. It's all on you. But me personally, like I said, don't ask me who the GOAT is in WMMA because there ain't one right now. Who's one of the better fighters today? I'll tell you that. But I mean, I'm not going to tell you who the GOAT is, greatest of all time. All right. Let's see. Gordon Morris. How about the other common slur, casual, as distinct from the neutral novice? What's up with that? Well, a novice, okay. A novice is someone who doesn't know that much, but they're still willing to learn. That's just like a level. You know what I mean? Like a novice, they still have potential to grow, right? Like when I talk to some people that are novices to the game, they have more of an open mind to wanting to grow. This, like I said, this is my definition of my experience. Now, when I talk to a novice, they're inexperienced. They don't really have the knowledge, but they're still going to grow. They can grow out of being a novice, right? That's just somebody that doesn't know much about the game. Now, casual is somebody to me that is in and out of the sport. All they know are the big names, in boxing. All they know is Mike Tyson or whoever the champion is at the time. And then they try to have their 2 cents. Like WMMA would be like somebody coming along saying Ronda Rousey beats them all, but they don't even study the game, right? That's kind of what a casual is. Like a casual throws in their 2 cents, don't even really take the time to learn. They're just in and out the door. They're a casual shopper. They come in the store once in a while, pick up 1, 2 things, never really stick to what's in. You know what I mean? A novice, they can come in inexperienced, but it's on them if they want to take in more, right? It's just a level. It's just a level. I mean, casual, they can leave that level too, but around here, when I call somebody a casual, it's somebody that don't really have the knowledge, but they act like it. They just want to say, okay, this person here is the best, but they don't even know the whole division. They just know the top levels, like the strawweight division. All they know is all they would know is Rose and John Wei Lee. That's what a casual to me is. They really don't know the rest of the division. Like when I say Tisha could go in there and upset Rose, they're like, "Who's Tisha? I don't know Tisha. Tisha sucks though, cause I don't know her. She sucks because I don't know her." Right? That's kind of like the terms casuals use. They just say, "Oh, this person sucks because I don't know them." When they don't know them, they just say they suck. This person's the best because I just know this and only this. So, I mean, that's kind of what it is like around the fight world on the difference between a casual and a novice. So I can have a conversation with a novice because, like I said, they'll learn. They're new to the game. They ask questions. Not necessarily a bad thing. Like casual ain't either, because there's good casual, bad casual. Like I said, some casuals they they only come around for the big fights. They only maybe click it on every now and then. MJ said Shevchenko fanboys are worse. They even compare her to Muhammad Ali. Who know? No can do. Muhammad Ali done put in decades, influenced so many generations, influenced so many people, black, white, Hispanic, uh, Asian. I mean, across the board, you can ask a lot of different races. I could go ask a lot of different races from different generations, and they'll say Ali is is the greatest fighter. You know, when it comes down to everything that he's done, like I can't say Shevchenko was in that. I would put Shevchenko more on a level with Floyd because I think there's some similarities there. Like Floyd, even then, Floyd, he's been around. I've known him longer, of course, but Floyd Mayweather, I could see that a little bit more just because of their discipline. They have the same kind of hunger and obsession of the sport of being like pinpoint perfect. But even then, you know what I mean? That's kind of, I use it a lot. I'll use that one more, but like Ali, his is different because of everything he's done, everything out of the ring, in the ring, and influential to a whole, not just a whole country, but the whole world type thing. I think Shevchenko was just really influential to her country and just the sport of MMA. But Muhammad Ali is influential to boxing, wrestling, mixed martial arts. I see some of these mixed martial arts gyms with Ali's picture up. Never even put on gloves before. They have Ali's picture up because he's an inspiration. I see a bunch of kids don't even know who he is wearing his t-shirt, right? So the people that would say she's in his category, I mean, no. I just put it that way. Like, nope. Don't don't even mess with my champion like that. Like I said, I didn't grow up to him, but my dad did. I watched a good majority of his fights. Seen a lot of his fights on tape, DVD, and now on YouTube, and listened to his, speeches. Nope, nobody touches that. Nope, can't do that. Nobody's touched that yet. Nope. Okay, so let's see. Taylor Santos is overrated. Sorry, she's not beating Shevchenko. Okay, my top 3 picks, MMA Art said, would be Valentina Cyborg and Amanda Nunes as potentials. Yeah, like I said, those are the names that come up when this game is going to be. Like, if the game stopped today, then yeah. But as it goes on, those are your names that always be brought up. Okay, Brian Williams said perfect explanation. Yeah, that's just what I've seen. Like I said, that's just what I've like experienced through years of talking to people, even in boxing. Like, when I know the person wants to learn or they just never seen it before, I know when they're a novice and I know when they're a casual. Stammer said casuals like what they like and don't care to educate themselves on details, nuance, facts. They have a biased, blinkered set of opinions rather than simple inexperience. Exactly. They don't want to go into it deep. They just know what they know. Like some people who don't like independent films and art house films, they just like Michael Bay films. There's some people that just like Michael Bay. They like explosions. They like Transformers or whatever the other movies he makes are, right? They don't really want anything too deep. Gordon said, I'm no novice or casual, but I still see no way out of a crucifix unless Bridge kept up the twist. All I had was a season of judo and one wrestling. Well, yeah, Gordon, I mean, I don't think you was a casual. You always ask some good questions. Like, you keep an eye on the sport. You definitely ain't. I mean, you bring up some good points all the time, even with your comments. You said you had one season of judo. Shoot, I needed. I I was supposed to start jujitsu 2 years ago, but that pandemic started. You know, so I never stepped out of the box with it. I might try this summer, maybe, but that really put a hold on it, man. I could have been getting choked out, getting some hit. Like I said, for me hitting the mat, that would be something new. That would be something new to me, man. Um, let's see. Also, don't forget Jessica Day is considered one of the GOATs. Ooh, TJ trying to get blocked. Mastermind said, no need to compare Valentina with anybody. She is who she is. If you love technical fight, you would like to watch her. Pretty much, yeah. Like I said, like when I watch her, I'm enjoying her fights. But sometimes there are people I'll say, okay, this person I kind of do a comparison to because they have the same type of hunger. But yeah, when you're watching her, I'm just saying, okay, I'm enjoying her fights. That's it. Ulysses, what's going on? He said he's late. What have you been talking about? Well, Ulysses, I'm I'm discontinuing the GOAT talk on this channel. I'm not gonna talk about who the GOAT of WMMA is anymore. I'm not talking about that anymore. Is Lemos still a threat? And let's jump to this next one here. We've just been long discussions on stuff here. That's how we do. Next topic. Joanna wants a 5-rounder, or she's cool with a 5-rounder. What do y'all think? Let me pull up that interview. She said it on her Twitter. Joanna said she's cool with 5 rounds. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Like, what do you think, Ulysses? No more GOAT talk. What do you think about Lemos as well, Ulysses? What do you think about those topics? No more GOAT talk, right? Lemos, where do you see her at? Gordon said, has anyone ever escaped from a crucifix? It matters to me. I want Andrea Lee to know how. I never been put in one. I never been put in one. So I can't say. I might have to read up, man. Just probably have to read up on this stuff. Look at this stuff on YouTube, and there's books that'll show you how not to get put into one. I think it takes a lot of good hand fighting, like hand fighting and not getting put on your back. Defend the crucifix. I mean, that's a good question. Who knows in here? That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he said no more GOAT talk. Yeah, he said Lemo's still a threat for anybody. Yeah. Okay. Got like 20 people. Make sure y'all hit that like. There's half the people in here haven't hit like. So make sure you do that. Keep it going. Okay, so Joanna, appreciate that, MJ. Okay, Joanna says she's open to a 5-round fight in her rematch with Zhongwei Li. Let's go ahead and see what she said here. Yeah. Okay, so Twitter, she said should be 5 or not. I'm willing to do 5 rounds for my fans at the UFC at Dana White. Because there's this post on MMA On Point. I guess this is their social media. I don't think I ever pulled this up before. This site. Here we go. It says 3-round fight. Zhongwei Li versus Joanna 2 will be a 3-round fight at UFC 275 per Damon Martin. All right. So it's already put out there. It's already been put out there that, okay, I got distracted. Stanley, that's a good point. That's a good point. Sweaty. That's why that's why submissions are so much tougher when you get into the 3rd and 4th round. So basically, you better make sure you worked up a sweat, or you in the 4th or 5th round. You know what I mean? Yeah, being sweaty, dry, 1st round submissions usually come easy. That's usually being a part of it, like making sure that either you or your opponent's worked up a sweat. It's on your wrists, on your arms, and you can slide out, because that's when it gets harder, to get your opponent in that position. Yeah, let's go back and watch that sometime. Jessica I escaped from Valentina and her crucifix. Gordon said Valentina does rigorous neck bridge exercises, spinning, flipping over, just like we did wrestling. Is that common? That's one of her things. Like, she just seems to, she dances, she kind of does her own thing, I think, to just really loosen up her body. I think that some of the things she does is out of the box. Like I don't see like a lot of wrestlers doing that type of stuff, but like some of the stuff of her spinning on her neck, on her head, I think those are things that she really discovered worked for her. And she says, I'm gonna, put this into my regimen, put this into my workout to make sure that she's always flexible, limber, and her body is able to just like move in these positions and help make her a little bit more, a little bit more athletic than your average wrestler, right? Here we go. All right. So yeah, so Damon Martin already put it out there that Zhang Weili Joanna is going to be a 3-round fight. But what's crazy is Joanna, she said, should be a 5 or not. I'm willing to do 5 for my fans. And I just got to give her credit on that she wants to go out of the way to do that. Because it's one thing, like, if the fight hasn't been booked yet, and she was like, yo, should it be a 5-round fight? But she's already telling you that, hey, it's a 3-round fight. Hey, why can't we make it 5? She's letting Dana know that, hey, we need to up this thing to 5 rounds. I mean, it's the 3rd fight on the card, but it could still be done, right? And in my opinion, three would be good. It would be a good fight, but 5, I think that's where the fans really want to get their money's worth. Yeah, like TJ was saying, more rounds means, where did you put that comment? Yeah, more rounds for the fans, more money for Joanna, right? The question is though, well, first off, we know it's good. It's a good move for the sport because it'll be entertaining. Another good fight. Last time out, it was a crazy matchup between these two. But if Joanna's improved, Weili's improved, and she's done some of the changes that she's needed to do to avoid getting hurt, like, is 5 rounds really necessary? Is it on Joanna's mind to go in there and do what she did last time? Or is it just the money? But TJ thinks that he wants more money, so yes, she would want a 5-round fight. But what do you think? Do you think she just wants it for real entertainment? Like, I don't think she wanted to experience what she did last time, right? I don't think I'd want to go in there and do that again. Like you did 2 years ago. It might take years off of you taking that type of beating. So I think a 3-round fight could be entertaining, but 5 rounds, yeah, it could be good. But Joanna's been out for 2 years. Like, is she gonna be ready to come back for 5 rounds? Is 5 rounds what she wants? Hold on. Yeah. Zama said Weili is scared of a 5-round beating. She thinks so? She didn't say anything about it. Gordon said Velasquez didn't bridge either. No kickboxing like a wrestler would do. No, she didn't. I don't think they do. I think it comes with a lot of different, these training camps, who you're with, the places you train. Because what was your last question? She said Valentina does rigorous neck bridge exercise. Yeah, and flipping. That helps. So when you are on your back, but yeah, you really didn't see Velasquez do any of that. He says this neck work bridging common in BJJ like in wrestling. Andrade never bridged. I don't think it is. Like, I think I never really seen Mackenzie Dern do that. I think she's like a good example, right? Because I think she would combine that with her if she was like a good wrestler. But you see, she's not really a wrestler. But like when she's on the ground, even on her back, her first thing to do, well, she's never really been put in a crucifix. So her first thing to do is just to like flow, like with her submissions. And try to trying to think of some of her positions. I have to go back and kind of look at some of her fights though. All right, so yeah, Joanna wants a 5 round fight. I think that's good. I mean, that's a good way to come back. I think that's entertaining. It'll make for another good fight besides Shevchenko with Santos on the card. But like I said, 3 is good too. I think the question is, can she do 5 rounds off of 2 years? And is this just a little marketing thing for her? You know what I mean? Like it's already been stamped as a 3 rounder, but with her saying, "Hey, can we do a 5 rounder?" Is she just trying to win over more fans to make it say, "Oh wow, Joanna is back." Is this a way to get in the Whaley's head? Possible, right? Like since that it's already been booked as a 3 round fight, she might just be throwing that out there to say, "Hey, I wish this was a 5 rounder now," because then we could get that same type of excitement. But Joanna might not even want to go in there and fight the same fight. Like I said, like both of these fighters might not even fight the same way. It would be wise if they didn't, which I'll probably talk about in another video because I want to go into that. Like it really shouldn't be the same type of fight. I think that type of stuff comes with two fighters. You only get that action one good time. I mean, they could try to mimic it last time, but I don't think it's going to bring the same energy. I just think they both were in a different place. They had something to prove at the time. Since then, Whaley's changed. Joanna's been out 2 years. So I think that their mindsets are going to try to relive that past. But at the same time, they're going to be like, is this going to be worth taking that beating again? So there's going to be a lot of cautious moments. So a 5 rounder might not be the best thing. I mean, yeah, it gives Joanna more of a chance because even if she does take more of a technical approach, you would favor her because she has the proven gas tank, right? And she's not one that can be taken down and just mauled. Joanna can stay in it for the long haul. She's a 5 round fighter. So that's probably one of her benefits to it. Like not necessarily wanting to go in there and not necessarily want to go in there and put on like a brutal fight. Once you think about it, maybe she just wants to say, I need 5 rounds to wear Whaley down, where Whaley might be stronger in a 3 rounder because she's going to fight at the pace to try to, get a quick win, try to go in there and finish Joanna, maybe try to outwork Joanna. And I think it'll change her mindset. But Joanna's been doing this a long time. She already knows like what type of pace to set for a 5 round fight. She did have some good rounds against Whaley first time, and if she goes back and does what she did against the Whaley, where she won rounds clearly, like there was one round where she went southpaw. She just clearly won that round, like against Whaley. And I think it was the one round where she clocked Whaley with a good head kick. And I remember the corner having to like carry Whaley back to the corner. That was like a good moment. Like she had those rounds. So if it goes 5, she can go back and say, this is what I need to do more of. Gordon said, off subject, did anyone see the Anissa Mexican fight? I didn't watch that one yet. Is that the one where, yeah, she cried? Yeah. Yeah, I got to watch that. Same with Bhutan. I know Bhutan lost, right? Yeah, Bhutan lost. And Smila Fairtex is the youngest champion now. Youngest Muay Thai champion. Yeah. I mean, Bhutan, she took a beating in that fight. I mean, she showed she was strong, powerful, but hey, Bhutan only 17 years old. She's very good. Very good. Running Ring says she's going for Whaley, but it's 50-50. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because obviously, I remember when Whaley was totally bluffing like she wanted to step in less than a day's notice against Shevchenko. She's no stronger for some. She's no stranger for. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, could she just be bluffing? Because it's already signed. They probably already got it signed out. Said we're not going to add 2 more rounds. Whaley, Joanna's going to be 3 rounder. It was like she's already. Joanna's been out for 5. I mean, see, Whaley has been active. Joanna's been out for 2 years. So why make this a 5 round fight? Right. All right, TJ said he got to run. He said he'll be listening. Hope to come back and get a link for 3 hours tonight. If you don't, yeah, only if I'm on an hour 3, which I doubt it this time. Yeah, so she could be just like bluffing a little bit there. Bluffing. It's like, okay, yeah, okay, Joanna. Everything's already set. So I don't think that's going to happen. But if it did, that would be cool. But Andrade and Rose and Andrade, their rematch is only 3 rounds. So wait, we can settle with 3. I mean, I can watch 3. You don't necessarily have to be 5. I mean, y'all can put it on the line, bring everything you need, and we good to go. Ooh, what is this? This is new. Mackenzie. Oh boy. Okay, this is new right here. Breaking news. No, this ain't really breaking news. This was yesterday's news, but did y'all hear this? Look. Mackenzie Dern targets Yan Xiaonan next because she's the most ready. She's the most ready, huh? Here we go. Mackenzie Dern is keen to continue flying up the rankings and thinks there's a more logical matchup waiting for her. Dern is already thinking about her next fight, and she likes the idea of pairing against Yan Xiaonan. I think Yan Xiaonan. Wait a minute. Let me pull it up. I think Yan Xiaonan is next. She's number 5 right now. Oh, this was before the rankings because Jessica Andrade is number 5 now. So if you want the number 5, you better get that new number 5, and her name is Jessica Andrade. I know y'all think I'm being wrong, but hey, y'all think I'm forcing this fight. Hell, man, I just want a good fight. I want somebody tested. Yeah. This was of course recorded before the rankings were put out. She said she's number 5 right now in the UFC rankings, and she just lost to Marina. We both lost to Marina. I think she would be a good fight. Well, Andrade just won this Saturday, so yeah, that's new. I didn't see that. I just had to read that. Yeah. Nah, I'm being wrong. Y'all think I'm being wrong, but hey, I want to see it. I want to see a good test for Mackenzie Dern. Yan Xiaonan would be a good fight, but I think we all know what happens when it gets down to the ground. We all know what happens when it gets to the ground. That's how dangerous Dern is. But shout out to Tisha. Tisha survived, man. Tisha swam in them deep waters. I mean, she tried to pull Tisha out there. Tisha was breathing. Tisha was like, Tisha was breathing. You could see Tisha breathing like in and out, and she survived. But I don't know about this. Like, I don't know if Yan Xiaonan has that type of wrestling and that type of strength to stop the takedowns. So I think she just wanted to play it safe. But to me, Andrade is a new number 5, and that's the one that's gonna. If you test your jiu-jitsu out on her and your strength on Andrade, I'm all for it. But I think the UFC is going to make Dern versus Yan Xiaonan. Now that she mentioned the name, man, I knew she was going to mention that name though. I had to, let me see. What is that? Ulysses says Andrade is like a what? A fresh. What is that? I can't see that icon. She's like a fresh what? Is that? Is that a piece of broccoli? Can't see it. MJ said Dern wants to fight Yan because Yan has got no ground game. Right. MMA Art said, I think Dern can submit Andrade. She could if they got to the ground. I mean, yeah, but even then, like, she's powerful. Like, if she was on the ground and her ground game, like Andrade's ground and pound is vicious, I don't know. There's too much movement and too much wrestling there. Like, Andrade could probably do what Tisha did and survive. She put that knee in her belly and just like, really start wailing on her. Colton said Dern is going to get hurt one of these days. It's possible, man. Like, but that's part of the game. She's in there, man. Like Colton, she's up there. Like, it's time. Like, it's time to start putting everything together. And if she can do it, that'll prove her to be a good fighter. But yeah, it's possible. Like, if everything doesn't come together, yes, she could get hurt. But I mean, hey, I'm not one to pad a record. She said her career is padded. Yeah, I'm not one to pad a record or try not to match up the fighters with the best. So I would want to see Dern in there with Andrade. Yeah, MJ said Dern should fight Andrade. I think so. Oh, there's lettuce. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Can she take her down? Like, can you take Andrade down, or will you respect her like everybody else does? Stamets, I don't know if Dern would actively duck Andrade if offered, but Jan is certainly a more favorable pairing. Yeah, of course. Yeah. They put her together. It's like, yeah. Stamina said if Jan Jana throws more of those lazy kicks, then yeah, Mackenzie can catch one and take her down. Yeah. She could. Darby, what's going on? He said I started at the same time. Who is that? Spanish Live MMA stream? What is that? Was that fights? I don't even know what that is. What is that? Spanish Live? Is that like Spanish Live MMA? What is it? Is it like a fight channel? I've never been there before. Zama says remarkable how much of a natural fighter Dern turned to be. Compare her to Cesaria Matuda is of the world. Gordon said, no way Andrade should refuse any fight except for Rose next. He said, no way Andrade should refuse any fight except for Rose. I don't think she's going to get Andrade. Well, she's already said, Jessica's already said that I'm not expecting to cut in line or, get a title shot right away. She said, I want the Wei Lee Joanna winner. But if she can't get that, I mean, Mackenzie would be a good one. But I think that the matchmakers kind of know what would happen if it was Dern Andrade. So they would rather Mackenzie Jan fight and then let Andrade fight the winner of Joanna and Wei Lee. That's probably how it's going to play out. Sadly, because they already know that these proven fighters, they're going to take him and they don't want to see anybody get hurt. That's how I think they're thinking. Me, I'd rather see Jessica and Mackenzie because that's how we see if Mackenzie Dern can reach a level like Wei Lee and them. So, but no, Jessica said she'll take one more fight before the title. I think she said that was her post fight. So yeah, that's what's on the line for her. Joanna wants a 5-round fight. Yeah, like I said, it's probably just a bluff. Macy Barber. I want to talk a little about Macy Barber here. Darby said Andrade Rodriguez is the fight to make. Marina's like the only one I would give a pass to not fight Jessica yet. I mean, am I wrong for that? I think she's done her she's done her she's done her stint. I think she's done her stint. She's done her time, and I think that's fair. But she went on her nice little win streak, so I don't think there's no reason to try to go in there and throw somebody else at her. Like, I wouldn't throw Andrade at Carla or Marina. Ulysses said, Lemos is a nightmare matchup for Dern. Brian said, yeah, Lemos would likely know Dern. Knock smooth Dern out. Yeah, Lemos still hangs. Like I said, Lemos still hangs with a lot of these other fighters. Like she might not be the champion right now. Like somebody asked me earlier, I think it was MJ said Rose, which with Rose with Lemos beat Rose. I say not yet, not right now. You know, I was one that went on record say she would probably beat Whaley. I don't know about that now, but fighters like Dern, Jan, even Marina, that style matchup would be interesting from Lemos. You know, MMA junkie. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Darby, yeah, he said Andrade versus Rodriguez. How do you see that fight going? Let's see. Gordon said Joanna and Whaley got immediate title rematches. Jessica was passed over. He said Jessica was number one in flyweight. She should be number two next in line. She can fight the contenders afterwards. Well, she's number five now. I think that's fair because you have Carla next, and you do have Marina next. And, again, Marina did go on a 4-fight win streak, so in her absence, Marina was racking up a resume. Like even when she was there, she was still working, but Marina still has a spot that I think should she should be next in line for a title shot. And it's time to get some new looks as well. But I mean, Andrade, of course, she's there, but I think five is a pretty decent place for her to be now. Okay, let's see. Thomas Andrade would throw around Marina. It's not even funny. Maybe she would gas out eventually, but maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she would have to be on her game, man, because like Marina gets taken down easy too. Waterson took her down, Carla took her down, Calvillo, Randa. Like she survived Mackenzie. She survived them, but they take her down, man. And I know Andrade probably would. Brian said that's true, Gordon, but also she chose to go to one and fought a few fights. So no, she don't come in back with a win and get a title shot. Exactly. Like, yeah, she said it herself, She said it herself that she doesn't expect the title shot. So if she's feeling that way, I think I can agree with her because I think she knows people are in front of her. So yeah, Andrade is right there. Like where she falls in at number five, one more fight, like she said. Darby said Lemos was beating Andrade in a rematch. I take Lemos because no way Andrade can submit her in that move again. Maybe not. Them leg kicks were pretty good. Like her calf kicks were like hurting Andrade. They were getting a reaction out of her. If she can keep up with some type of pace like that and just stay away, she could do it. Yeah, Andrade is a double ranked a champion, a double ranked contender, double ranked legend. Yeah. Colton said if Andrade fights smart, I think she's a future champion. She can beat Rose in 5 rounds and outmuscle Carla. Yeah, for sure. Right. Yeah, Carla has two style nightmares, and that's Joanna and Jessica. So Andrade, I can see the belt in her cards for sure. Yeah, because Andrade, if she fights smart like she did against Lemos, she could beat Rose in a 5-round fight because they always gonna go back and forth. If anything, Andrade gets stronger. she could beat Rose, but if Carla somehow beats Rose this time around, and Andrade gets that title shot, I think it's safe to say Jessica Andrade will be a 2-time strawweight champion. Yeah, so I agree with that, man. Gordon said a win over Rose and controversial split decision loss trilogy worthy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Controversial split decision, and just because it's a great style matchup, Rose and Jessica make a good they make for a good style. I might have to watch them fights tonight, man. Like, they're just a good matchup. Lemos, MJ said Lemos is not beating Andrade in a rematch. Gordon says she's overly modest and too humble. Joanna and Whaley got immediate rematches lost, and Jessica's winning. That's true. That's true. But she's just there, man. Like, she's, she's look. She's gonna have a spot. Don't worry. She'll get it. Look, I want to see her in there again too, but I want to see Marina what she can do now. Marina, we've been waiting. We've been waiting for the past couple years. Andrade will get it again because, like Andrade said herself, she hadn't even hit her prime yet, so she'll get it. That's the thing about Andrade. Like, we could say Lemos could do it again, or we could say Lemos could do it, and Andrade couldn't do it again. But the minute she sees an opening, she's gonna squeeze something on you. She's gonna catch you and she's gonna crush you. Okay, Ulysses said the UFC channel uploaded Rose Andrade too. Oh, okay. Well, I ain't got to pull up UFC Fight Pass. I'm gonna have to look at it right here. He said Lemos will not beat Andrade. It almost looked like Lemos was in the shock when she saw how fast Andrade closed that distance. I mean, that picture they keep putting up of Lemos, man, like getting choked out. I feel bad for her, man. Like, I was like, dang, y'all put her on blast like that. She looked like she was getting choked out. I was like, man. Like, how let me see how many I'm sorry, I was looking at YouTube channel for UFC, trying to pull up this fight. They must have uploaded it last week because I don't see it. It must be way down here. Oh yeah, the new preview show came out, right, for the Tough House. Anybody look at that yet? Anybody interested in the Tough House? I haven't really heard too many people talk about it. Like, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it next Tuesday. I'll tune in and watch it. I haven't watched Tough House in a minute. Darby said, so Andrade versus the winner of Whaley, Joanna, winner guaranteed a title shot. I expect so. That might be her path. That might be her path, and I think the UFC will agree with that. Granted, Andrade can do it. If she can get by one of them, if she get by the winner, then yeah. And she set herself up too. I mean, she lost to both of them, but she's willing to go in there and do it again to learn. Andrade, one of the toughest, man, if not the toughest strawweight. How many tough strawweights are there? Let me see. On different levels, Andrade's one of the toughest. Joanna's one of the toughest. Tisha's one of the toughest. Just because they willing to go back in there more than once, man, like, and do their thing, like, they get my respect. Gordon said he'll root for Rose, but he'll praise Jessica if she wins. Yeah, she came in like Hope, man. She said, "Shoot, I'm taking that spot." Yeah, let's see. Ooh, Andrade Whaley to who you got? Let me think. Okay, kind of leaning towards Andrade this time myself. I know MJ's gonna say, if anybody in here, I know MJ's gonna say Whaley's gonna lose. So I can speak for her. I think she's definitely gonna pick Andrade to beat Whaley in a rematch. Um, I just kind of think Whaley's a little unpredictable right now. Can she do what she did last time? Mm, I don't know, man. It's one of them fights. It's like a pick 'em, really. It's really a pick 'em because if you don't get Andrade out of the way like she did, she's still dangerous. So it's really like it very, very up in the air. Especially like when you gotta look at both fighters, like how far they've gone, like what's happened in their past. Like I know styles make fights, but yeah, Andrade's just been getting stronger and smarter. Whaley's been getting smarter, but she seems a little tentative. She seems a little bit tentative. I still think that Rose loss did something to her. I hope she can bounce back from it, but I think maybe just a little bit. Maybe she can prove me wrong, but I think that just from those last couple showings, man. But I don't know. Either way, it's a good fight. Any of the best fighters going back and forth is really hard to pick. Leaning towards Andrade a little bit. Let me think. Just a little bit. What about you, Darby? Who do you got? I mean, my pick could change just like that, but I'm just saying, like right now, I kind of look at what Andrade is doing in her warpath right now. How she can move up the flyweight and do what she does, you know? So, mm, mm, 50-50 fight, really. Yeah, she's got Andrade. I told you she Andrade. She think Andrade beat you said Andrade over Joanna too, right? So hey, I mean you picking up for good reasons, but I just still think their skills are still gonna help them through. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Ulysses said he's got it too. Yeah. Everybody's kind of leaning towards Andrade. Like I said, Andrade's a safe pick. Gordon said, I think Jessica might benefit by adopting the stance of Marciano, bent and leaning back to get inside. I think so. As long as she can position herself away from like head kicks. Yeah, Gordon, like keeping your head low. Well, yeah, if she kind of stays not head low, but like with the chin out. But yeah, if she kind of stays bent, it can help her generate her power a little bit more too. Like smart, smart power shots. You know, her right hand, I think it'll connect with more force and keep her out of the way of danger, you know. And that's a lot to ask for her because, you know, she's got a lot to control. Like when she hits you sometimes or she gets hit, she wants to go wild. But, you know, her kind of adopting more of that puncher stance. Um, I think that would help improve her chances of getting the title because it would be something that these other fighters aren't used to. And a lot of her openings would be, you know, they would be gone, like they disappear, like they'd have trouble really getting off on her because they wouldn't be used to that stance. You know, kind of like I forgot the name. Just dang, another strawweight I was going to mention. Gabrielle said, "Who are some 115 strawweight prospects you can think break into the rankings this year or next year?" I think Benitez might break in there. Gabrielle, I think Benitez will break in there. I think Velismus might break in there. Who else? With the help of the UFC, match made right. And maybe her skills might get it. Pinheiro, she was 15, but she just got knocked out of there. But she'll be back. I think Pinheiro. Who else did I say? Okay, Benitez, Velismus, Pinheiro, and possibly Carnelosi. It all comes down to this win. Benitez or Carnelosi, whoever wins this fight, eh, they might get in there. I think it's gonna be between them four. Gabriella. Cole said, I mean, just how good is Valentina to manhandle Andrade like that? Very good. Very good. Very good. I mean, she had no answer for anything. Like the way Valentina chose to just go in there and wrestle and grapple with this girl on the fly, that tells you how good and ready she was. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, Gordon, like head low, out of reach of longer arms, and like possible head kicks, head low, because her shoulders already kind of tucked anyway, so or her neck's tucked in her shoulders, so head low, body. That stance would keep her close to the body. Yeah, she would rip body shots a little bit more brutal and still stay in a good stance to avoid getting hit. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. Valentine Spurs. She's just on another level compared to a lot of these fighters. Uh, Let me see. MJ talking about that whether or not Lemos lost. What are you talking about? Lemos. Yeah, well, Lemos. Look, Andrade. It's simple. It's simple mathematics with this one. Like, it's simple mathematics with this one. Better technical striker, better technical, distance management, just puncher is Lemos. But better fighter is Andrade. Like fighter, y'all know what I mean by fighter. Fighter is proven. Like fighter knows how to win. Like they're not just a technician. Like you ain't not trying to be a technician. They trying to a good fighter finds a way to win by any means necessary. That's what Andrade does. So Andrade proved to be the better fighter that night. Like, granted, we're gonna keep saying this was a fluke position, but that's what a fighter did. They saw it coming and they said, boom, I got it. It might not happen again, but a fighter finds a way to win all the time, or they try to at least. A fighter goes down, they go down hard, they go down, through the blood, whatever. Like that's what Andrade is. She's a fighter. Lemos will be back. Lemos will be back on it. I mean, nothing was exposed in Lemos to say like she's terrible, but certain things were said where she needs to level up and to separate herself from the rest of the strawweight. She's got to start pulling that it factor out that Wei Lee and Joanna and Rose have. It's hard to describe, but there's something there that needs to be pulled out of her before she can go right up in there, or ever be considered like one of them fighters. There was a question up here. Oh, there he is. Gordon said, do you think Andrea may be stronger than Viviane, being a bit taller? I don't think that her height's really going to come into play. I think it's really going to come down to her core. I think it's going to come down to her core and her leg strength and just her, her physical strength, like what she does to prepare and her strength and condition. I don't really think her being a bit tall is going to factor in her being stronger. I think her endurance and everything is going to help push that too as well. Like, can she get stronger in a fight? does she stay stronger? Like, what keeps her going? Like, what's her what's her defense like? Because how many punches he takes, that's also going to tell us, does she have good punch resistance against the snap and jab of Viviana Rujo? Like, there's a lot of different things I kind of factor in and just see how weak a person is or how strong a person is. But I don't think she's going to be stronger because of her height. I think it's really going to come down to where her strength and conditioning is like, uh, how she's used to using it, because she is a good judoka. She does have the judo, she's good on the ground. Wrestling's pretty good. So we've seen her strength used in those manners, but is she stronger just naturally? I would probably give her the edge because she doesn't really. Well, how bad is she faded in some of her fights? I would say Viviana Rujo is stronger. I know her cardio is not that good, but I think like physically stronger. I think Viviana Rujo is that fighter. I would give her the edge in strength. And now, like well-roundedness and like using other capabilities, I'd say Andrea Lee does that. But I think Viviana Rujo might be a little bit more stronger. But Gordon said, was strength or technique when Viviana out grapple Rocks? And now I want to, Viviana Rujo, she's a black belt. That's been going on. Say she's a black belt BJJ, but also I think a big part of it was her strength too. And that's why I say like to beat Roxy, you have to be strong. And I think a big part of beating Roxanne and out grappling her was her strength. Same like Taylor, Lauren Murphy, Sarge. Was it Sarge? Yeah. All of those fighters that beat Roxanne were strong, and Viviana Rujo was strong. Like, big part of it strength. It's technique there as well, but a big part of it for her is strength too, because, you know, she's younger. She's been on one of those, well, youth doesn't have anything to do with it, but she's younger and she's just, I said stronger. She's just over some of these other flyweights. And Roxy, one of her things, like she was able to beat Andrea Lee because I think her technique and just how she was able to push the pace on her, and that both of those fights. But yeah, I think Viviana Rujo, big part of it was strength, but it was some technique there too. Because she was never really in big trouble with Roxanne like Andrea Lee was. I mean, even that third round, she did get caught with like a shot from Roxanne. Viviana Rujo did, but she stayed in there. She showed how strong she was. Yeah, like speed and strength, but that cardio is a big part of her, man. That gets her down in these fights. Like winds up losing the third round on these fights a lot, and you can't be doing that. Let me see. Zalman said apparently Jocelyn Edwards and Shev's main emulator is Santos for this camp. Do you think they are similar enough? No, I don't think so. I thought yeah, I know Jocelyn Edwards. I talked about that though. Jocelyn Edwards, she's been in the camp with them. I thought she was just doing it to get in work for her next fight as well, trying to benefit from the Shevchenko camp. But I don't think that Jocelyn Edwards is similar enough to Santos. Santos is much stronger and much more powerful than Jocelyn is. I don't really think Jocelyn Edwards is the style to mimic. So to me personally, I thought she was just in there to try to get that work in to step up her own game, which is definitely going to help her out. But I don't think Valentina really needs Jocelyn Edwards to emulate that Taylor Santos style, if that makes sense. I don't really see any similarities there, even on the feet. Like I think Santos, she sits down on her punches a little bit more, is more aggressive than Jocelyn Edwards is in any of her fights. I mean, what do y'all think? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think power based is more with Taylor Santos' shots, faster, more athletic. Of course, Andrea did escape from Roxy each time. It just took a while. She still outstruck Roxy. What were Vivian's strike stats versus Roxy? Good question. Let me look. That Vivian Arujo fight. Vivian Arujo and Roxy. Oh man, I know Vivian Arujo was cracking her with shots in that fight. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh. Ooh. Okay. So Gordon, Vivian Arujo's strike stats were total strikes landed 100 out of 214 for Vivian Arujo, 49 out of 193 for Roxy. So Vivian Arujo landed 46% of her strikes. That's how accurate she was in this fight. Significant strikes, 43%. 86 out of 198. So 86 of those were significant strikes. So a lot of good jabs in that fight too. Plus Vivian Arujo got 4 takedowns. Roxanne got none. So yeah, a lot of that is technique as well. It's technique and strength based. It's a mixture of both. Because you have to have strength to beat Roxanne. I think when you just go technique for technique, Roxanne is such a long time black belt. She knows how to cancel out certain things, and like she did to Shannon Dobson and some of these other fighters, she knew how to transition the top and work them till she could ground and pound them. But when you can just like overpower her, that's how she's lost. Good, solid jab, and physical strength, break Roxy every time. Yeah, 100 out of 214. And well, let's see the Andrea Lee rematch though. What did Andrea Lee land on Roxy? I think it was more back and forth, right? Yeah. Oh wow. Roxy versus Andrea Lee, the rematch. Roxy landed 129, 48%. Where Andrea Lee landed 118. It was closer, 56%. And Andrea Lee landed 97 significant strikes though, so that is pretty good. But Roxanne landed 60. So if you look at the numbers and you kind of, if you know their styles, you're looking at somebody with an accurate jab like Vivian Arujo. You're looking at speed, the jab. Here you were kind of looking at Andrea Lee going back and forth in some ways, and her defense, like I said, doesn't really move her head a lot. Gets hit straight up the middle. So Roxy can still pile up some shots. So yeah. Yeah, Gordon, yeah, I was looking at it. Yeah, so what do you think? Oh wow. Ulysses said Andrea Lee expects Arujo to come strong and then fade like always. Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. Everybody's knowing that blueprint. Yeah, so Vivian Arujo, she did well, but styles make fights. So Andrea Lee, since the Roxanne rematch, she's gotten better. She's went in there, defeated Calvillo, Shevchenko, a Shevchenko, not the Shevchenko. Right? Definitely fighting a little bit more balanced in there. Discipline. Hopefully Arujo is coming with the game. But it's going to be a darn good fight, man. It's going to be good, y'all. I like the style matchup. Vivian Arujo and Andrea Lee. I like that style matchup. Zama said he thinks Santos and Edwards, their punch mechanics are similar. Really? Maybe I just need to look a little bit more into it. But yeah, I'm gonna look a little bit more into that. Like I think, uh, I guess I just get the vibe that Edwards ain't sitting down on her shots a little bit. She just kind of throws hands out there. Colton said a lot of Brazilian fighters come out really strong in the first round and then gas. Is that just how they train there? It is like I'm gonna have to talk about this one day, but like that's why I recommend, like, for me, I don't know how about the rest of y'all feel, but like I think to be a complete fighter, I think you have to kind of be open to train with a lot of different type of styles and different people here, because I think I seen, like, yeah, a lot of the, like Stamina said, watch some of them regional fights. Like I watched a lot of them regional fights in Brazil, and they go all at it, no technique, just brawling. But I think, you have to kind of train from, you have to be open to training with different people, outside of your own people, to get better, I think, in a world of mixed martial arts. That's why it's called mixed martial arts, right? Because you need to have a little bit of everything. And I think, like, a lot of the things I've seen for some Brazilians is like there's a lot of impatience, off balance, striking. And there's no disrespect, man. They're not boxers. I like the boxing background. That's what I love. So I'm gonna tell you, like, how they turn their punches over, how they stand is not the way, like, you see, like, like the Black American fighters fight here. A little bit more defensive minded, a little bit more slick. You won't see that from them. But when they get on the ground, that's all of them. The BJJ, that's them all day long. Submissions, that's them all day long. So yeah, I do see that. Some of them come out wild, brawling, throwing off balance. So I say you have to be a complete fighter. You just have to learn a little bit of everybody's style. You know, Vivian Ruo, though, I think she throws some, coming out of Brazil, she throws some nice punches, though. Very, very beautiful jab. Very beautiful jab. I think that's just a part of her. I don't even know who I want to win this fight. Who, Vivian and them? Vivian and Andrea Lee, I mean. Mm, 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 mm. All right. Zama said beating that Shevchenko. you know, yeah. That's why I say not the Shevchenko. Arujo style is going to surprise all. She's apparently battery powered now, so gassing out won't be an issue either. Okay, she got that battery power in. I'm ready. Gordon said recent Andrea interview, she mentioned a new focused training technique, but that allowed her to see all of Calvillo's strikes. Can you send me that interview, Gordon? I wanna look into that. I want to see what the technique is. I tell you what, Gordon, send me that interview. Hold on. What the heck? Where is that? I'm trying to do something here. Man, I don't get that. Yeah, if you still have that interview, send it to me, man. Oh boy, look at Zama. He need to stop it talking about this. Oh, come on. Look, anybody that get on here, I respect them, and they giving their opinions. You know, like I said, I don't get a chance to watch all his videos. Every now and then, I do stumble across a few, like when I ain't busy and I get a notification. I'll look, and like I said, I gotta respect people's opinion. I just respect other people's opinion. You get on here and you put people on game about your thoughts on WMMA. Yeah, like I don't agree with everybody. Everybody says on certain things because some people have their opinion. I have mine, but yeah, I don't dislike anybody for that. That's me though. Where is this dog? I was trying to find something on here, man. I wasn't even reading everything. I was just looking at this thing on StreamYard. Yeah, Gordon, send me that interview though. I want to know what you talking about in that interview. What she talked about in that interview. Yeah, there's a new email. Oh, okay. She didn't really elaborate on it. Okay, I got you. I mean, yeah, I'll probably look up some like different things that help you. There's different drills that can help you help see people strikes coming. I wonder if she's just talking about some of those basic drills because maybe she hadn't really been working with some of that stuff before. Oh man. No man. What's his name? What's going on? CHNN and Chin. He said a lame with it that MJ because he said we only got one WMA fight. Oh come y'all wrong. And I mean that's it. That really is it. That's all we got. You know? Yeah, like I said, Stamina. I mean, like I said, I respect him. I respect Addict. Everybody's got their own opinion. I mean, I don't block a lot of people. Like I said, if you if you got something racist to say, if you just ain't contributing to a conversation and you just like to argue, then yeah, I probably block you. Or if you say crazy stuff, like I said, you want to unsub because a stream is too long, and I mean you don't even make a suggestion, you just say you leaving because of the one thing, then y'all probably will block you. But other than that, I don't just block anybody. But like I said, everybody has their reasons on why they do what they do. Gordon said Andrea didn't mention high level elevation training though in this week's interview. That worries me a lot. That's what Vivian Arujo needs, man. She needs to go up to where is it? What am I thinking? Where is that place? Gordon, what is that place where Oscar De La Hoya and them go up? The Bear, what is it? Dang, I'm really blanking right now. Big Bear. That's where she needs to go, or just go to the mountains and train. Oh man. Yeah, Big Bear. Yeah, Big Bear is a place to go. Yeah, that's the place that most of them be going up there to work on that breathing and cardio. Vivian Arujo. Well, Andrea Lee, she need to work on it too a little bit though. Like I seen her get hit with some knees to the body and some body shots before kind of get gassed. So that's something she needs to be worried about. But not as bad as Vivian Arujo though. Vivian Arujo, yes. Stammer said you have to block people here too with all the insults and so on. Yeah, every now and then you gotta time somebody out, I guess. Like I said, like maybe because I'm just talking and I'm not looking too deep. I'm only looking at the comments that stand out. Like I said, like everybody, brings up good points. Sometimes something just catches my eye more when somebody's asking me a question. But that's on y'all. If y'all catch it, you time them out. But if it's crazy, yeah, you got to go. If it is crazy, you have to go. Gordon said, last fight camp, Andrea went to Northern California where you ride favorite trains at altitude. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Out there is good. Who is she with now? I have not been checking. Sorry, I have not been checking. Who is she with right now? She better be. She ain't with them no more. I know you ride favorite. He's, got a lot of good fighters in there. MMA Art said, which UFC female fighters do you think will do great in WWE? Yeah, like Paige is, she's one, but she ain't UFC. But Paige, I guess like Pena, maybe Juliana Pena. I think Juliana Pena has a good look like that. I think, she kind of has a nice look to her. Yeah, see, Brian Williams said the same thing. Yeah, Pena has a good look to her. That kind of matches some of the way the girls look there. And who else? I kind of look at the bantamweights because that's who they are. Like, I think if Megan was around at the time, or if she still was UFC, she probably would. Megan kind of has a look, big, tall, tattoos, attractive. So yeah, I think Juliana Pena, Megan Anderson. Of course, she has a mouth on her. Juliana Pena likes to talk that trash too, so that helps her. I don't really see too many other ones though. I mean, Holly. No, Holly doesn't really have the personality. I think Holly would do okay. I'd say Pena, Megan Anderson, and maybe. Well, yeah, maybe I said Misha Tate. Maybe Misha Tate. Misha Tate. Because you gotta have like a look, and I think like a physical look too. Like you have to have that muscular presence. I think, and Misha Tate has that. Like Misha Tate has a nice shape. Like her and Kat had like those physical, fitness model bodies. Tisha Torres, I don't think she has a personality, but she has like a physique that could be in there. If you just like talking about physical wise, like little wrestlers that could be in there and not just characters. I like Tisha. Yeah. Gordon said, let's see. Yeah, what are y'all talking about? Yeah, let's keep it moving. Whatever y'all talking about. Like I said, I don't have an issue with Addict. That's everybody's opinion. Like let's keep it WMMA. Like yeah, I agree with Ulysses. Like, oh yeah, don't do it like that. That's his channel. That's what he does. Let's go right back to the sport. Like, let's move on. Yeah, TJ agrees. Yeah, let's move on. Let's not do that. I was so focused. See, Gordon. Shout out to Gordon. Gordon just in here want to talk about the sport. That's how you do it. Look, you don't you don't you don't get if you feel somebody negative, you don't get back at somebody being negative. All right. So keep it on the sport. I mean, keep it on the sport. Probably think I'm being soft, but you don't know me. But I'm just saying, like, let's keep it classy. Let's not talk about somebody else. Like I said, I got respect for Addict. That's his channel. That's what he do. Whatever he talk about, that's what he do. But this is what I do. So, don't bring that energy over here. I mean, things you throw out there, okay, that's fine. But don't come to me telling me about what somebody else does. All right. like I said, shout out to Gordon. Just keep it WMMA, man. Like, talk about who he talking about, but he keeping it real. He just talking about Andrea Lee. This is good conversation he bringing up. So just stay on the sport now. I don't like I said, like I respect him. He gets on the mic. He he gives his opinions, his thoughts on fights, gives some good breakdowns. So you know, I I have no problem with that. Like I said, I don't get on here to get personal with people. Like even when the person get personal, I'll just tune it out then. But I'm here for the fight game. Gordon is here for the fight game. A lot of y'all are here for that. Gordon said her coach is her new boyfriend slash fighter. He trains at or at near her home. Oh, out in that hot place in Shreveport. Is it Shreveport? Shreveport, New Orleans? Yeah. She got some things going for her though, man. Yeah, so high five, what's going on? Good morning. See, high five in the building. Y'all talk about high five, high five. Just say what's going on, what's going on. Yeah, Brian, that's a point taken. Like from here on, I'm gonna say this too, and this will tell me who real and who not real. Next to goat talk, I'm gonna get discontinue talking about somebody else's other channel. Like I don't do that. So next to goat talk tonight, I'm discontinuing talking about anybody else, any other channel. Like I said, if it's negative, don't talk about it. All right. Somebody delete that crap. Who put that crap in here? What is this crap? What is this? What is this spam crap? Let me do. Okay, stamina got it. Never mind. Oh wow, it's really coming in. Who is doing this crap? Where is this crap coming from? Hold on. He said it might be BJ. All right, it's gone now. I just had to report that. Get this crap. BJ hit a couple of links. BJ didn't like how I was talking about Montana. But yeah, like I said, no, we gonna discontinue that. I mean, look, everybody, like I said, got their opinion out there. That's cool. We gonna do that. I'm just looking at this thing. I gotta delete that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Gordon said, "What is the elevation where Arujo is in Brazil? Shreveport is on Arkansas. I live near as tall, hot, rainy, humid, bad for lung expansion." Let me see. Where is she at? Vivian Arujo. Arujo is like where I want to say where she trains out of. Hold on. Where is it? Brasilia, Brazil? Like, what's the elevation there? Yeah, that humid weather, that's not really good for like that type. Like you have to go high up. So we'll see. Oh goodness, there it goes again. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Brian, we can still do that. Yeah, we can do that all the time. That'll stir him up. Yeah, high five. I think he said it best. Stop talking about somebody else. As a king in his own land, we're visitors, including in this channel. Yeah, like I said, like if you bringing up a point, like if you cross reference, and that's fine. Like if somebody said this, okay, we can talk about that because I've done that. You know, he's done that. You know, he's mentioned me before. We mentioned each other like in some different things, but like that's about it. But yeah, but we ain't gonna talk about nobody else like that. Yeah. Shout out to Addict. Like I said, he does what he does. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to BJ. Let me see, man. What the heck? You know, I can't really give out wrenches on this StreamYard either. It has to be on like regular stream. All right. You have to hit remove or report, or y'all tried to hide it and that crap still keeps coming up. Man. Let's see. Sorry, that thing is really distracting because I'm trying to get rid of it. Get rid of that crap. Man. Darby said Russian bot activity. Yeah, it is relentless, man. It just keeps coming. Gordon said, why do people question Arujo's cardio? He said, I know Andrews was questionable before. Well, I think it's quite, good reason people question it because she really does like expend a lot of energy, and she's just known to gas. Like she knows that she just gasses out. Like Gordon, some of her fights, like if you look at it, she really does gas out. Um, but when I'm looking at some of these other fights, it's like there is moments where she does do too much, and that might be a big factor. Sometimes she goes in there and works a little too much movement. Maybe if she cut down on the movement and was just a little bit more economical, maybe she could have a better showing. Maybe that might be a thing too. Maybe that could be a thing as well. Oh, Mark said, I just woke up from an epic nap. I'm definitely going to go back and listen to this one. I'm sure there was some good content on the stream. Yeah, there was, Mark. You missed out on some things here, but yeah, definitely. Shoot, you got to get them naps in though. I got one in before I got on this thing too, a little earlier. Yeah, that's what I say. I say what Stamina said. I respect to all all anybody that get on here and just want to break down what they see, their observation, and they want to inform and educate. I'm fine with that. Inform, educate, and entertain. A little bit of everything. I respect all of that. Like I said, not everybody will agree with everybody, but I mean, hey, it's fine with me. I mean, it's all good. You ain't supposed to. That's how you learn from each other. But is Chikagan versus Aru the only example of retiring? No, look at the Jessica I fight. Look at the Jessica I fight. Look at the Jessica I fight, and even the Montana De La Rosa and the Montana De La Rosa fight. Look at that one. She won that fight, but still look at it. Go back and look at that one. Mm-hmm. That's Gordon. Look at that fight. Definitely look at Jessica. And like I said, it might just come down to her being a little too high active. Maybe if she didn't move as much and burn out so much energy in the first 2 rounds, that could be an issue too. So let's see what she can do if she turns it down a little bit. Let's see if she can do if she turns it down just a little bit. Like I want to see her be a little bit more economical, efficient, picking her shots. Like that could be a thing too. That's why I'm always watching these fights. That's why I said I'm willing to change. Like if I see something, it can change. It can change. Like I might think this person has low cardio, but is it that or are they just doing too much? Like first round, Arujo is like throwing these little scissor kicks. She's dancing, she's jabbing, she's fancy, she's dancing, she's in and out. I think that would tire anybody out, wouldn't it? Yeah, Brian said yes. Yeah, that's why I kind of think like I'm gonna go back and look at some of these fights and say it myself and see, and judge it for myself again. Like, is it really cardio or is it just doing too much? And even then, Gordon, like it could have been just the fact that Chikagan outworked her. Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go out fully and just say that. I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch these things again. I would say Andrea Lee's then, I would say Andrea Lee's might be Gordon because Vivian does a lot that might gas her out. I think she just starts too fast, but Andrea Lee kind of does maybe a little bit less, but she'll gas sometimes. I don't know though. I'm just saying maybe. No, Vivian Arujo, yeah, she do be gassing though. For a 3 round fighter, man, she do, man. Like I'm gonna say, yeah. Let me think. I'm gonna say Arujo for right now. Yeah, I think I'll say Arujo because Arujo has really shown some huff and puff moments. Yeah, I won't do Andrew Lee like that, Gordon. Yeah. I'm gonna say Andrew Lee has been, in Agapo, but yeah, she's won. Blows her load quick. Blows her load quick. I give Arujo about a round and a half before she really starts to go in. Yeah, she's a little bit older. Yeah. Arujo's tank will be empty. Yeah, that's what makes it hard to pick her. I'd like to see her win this fight, but even if she does, like, it's gonna be, it's gonna be a hard road when she gets in there to Valentina. Darby said, "I hate Jessica even more than Carmucci." He said, I hope Casey retires her. Yeah, I think Casey O'Neill is gonna be that one to pull off another one, man. She's gonna get another victory. High Five said Aru has power but no leg kicks. I wonder why so many fighters don't use kicks. Well, Lemos does. Lemos uses kicks. Andrade does. Rose does. I think Arujo uses that jab a lot. Like she has some good kicks. She just don't use them enough. But yeah, she uses some of that stuff. Yeah. Dang, TJ. He said she burned. Right. Yeah. See, Brian. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. He agrees. He said Vivian has good kicks. Yeah. She just doesn't use them enough. Yeah. Aru has the fuel efficiency of a Hummer H2. Wow. gas is expensive right now too, man. She better start to be more economical. you know. Okay, so good conversation, everybody. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and hit hour 3, TJ, just for you. I'm gonna give me 15 more minutes, and I'm gonna hit hour 3. I'm just gonna hit the hour 3, but I'm not gonna go on hour 4 if that's what you think. I'm just gonna hit the hour 3. I'm gonna take this last 15 minutes just to talk about this last thing. Okay, Macy Barber. Let's talk about Macy Barber here real quick. So, from what you guys seen with Macy Barber, I'm gonna say this: like, hang on, Zaman said Agapov has like 4 fights in UFC, already has enough material for call out being cocky, went wrong, compilations, girls, pure gold. Yeah, it's this. That's the sad part about her highlight reel. Andrade's got a beautiful highlight reel, beautiful, beautiful highlight reel. But Agapova, unfortunately, I'd hate to have that type of highlight reel. But no. I'm just, ooh, Zaman had to bring that up. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, she is a fighter. I mean, but that's true. Cocky went wrong. Yeah, we'll go 15 minutes, 8 hours. He crazy. Yeah, we go in the distance. I got the cardio for it. Ooh, wow. Stamina said highlight reel versus blooper reel. Ooh, that's what that is. Okay. So Macy Barber, like from what I seen with Macy Barber Saturday night, I can honestly say that, I saw an improved fighter. I know some people think I don't like Macy, but yeah, I'm not like a big fan, but I definitely, respect her grind and how she approaches the game. She's definitely a dog and she's definitely tough. Like she's really a fighter. Like she's like one of those girls that you see out, in the street, in the club, might not look like a fighter, but when you test her, she's like wailing on you. Like you seen some of these girls out here get tested and by other girls, and then they just start like wailing on them. That's kind of how Macy Barber is. She just has fight in her. If you call her out, she's gonna put you on the spot. So that's something I always respected in her. Macy has that dog, and that's why I called it. I told BJ, if I'm gonna say anybody has dog in here, it's Macy. So with that being said, like what she did with her dog in this fight, she really impressed me. Like she had me eyeballing now and saying, there's something about this new approach that she's taking that could really help her advance. And like I said, kind of take a new approach instead of just trying to be this puncher. That everybody thought of her just as a wild puncher, but something about the pressures that she's been working with now and the clinching, the clinch style she's been doing, I think she could take that somewhere. I know it's a little early to tell, but she's young, she's strong, she's willing to learn. She's a big flyweight. She could kind of take that approach, I think, like Andrade, and really work on her physical capabilities and take it somewhere where, she can really be both power based and strength based. She can be on the outside and pick you apart if she works on her striking a little bit more and, her IQ, or she can maul you on the inside because the way she handled that big fighter, Mark Robinson, shout out to Mark Robinson, he made some good points about Montana's wrestling, but the fact that she was able to handle this big fighter the way she did in a clinch shows me that she has potential to be one of the strongest in this division. She definitely does. And I think that's just going to be on her to keep on improving and getting stronger. Because if she does, Macy could be like I won't say she could be Andrade in this division, but she could possibly be like a very physical fighter like Andrade, very physical, rough, and handle a lot of these girls. When she knows how to use her body size and how to move her weight around, yeah, she could be that. Of course, yeah, she'll need a little bit more practice with some more physical specimens in there and some strong fighters. As Zama said, Barber, Moreau. Yeah, like Moreau's a world class wrestler, right? She's a good wrestler. So let's see what she could do against somebody that's a good technical, physical wrestler like Moreau is. Like we saw what she could do against Montana, but let's see what she does against Moreau's type of wrestling next. Couple more fights as they advance. Her and Aaron Blanchfield at some point. I still think Aaron would beat her right now, but eventually that would be a good fight in the top 10. So I think Macy's on to something now. Like this approach that she took, she looks so much more dominant and like she was at home. Like she needed to be there, foot stomps and all, you know what I mean? Like holding Montana against the cage and just hitting her like with these uppercuts. Even on the ground, like she looks smarter. Like she looked at home doing this style more than she does being a puncher. I mean, yes or no? Like I know she be knocking girls out early, but when she can't get girls out of there, she looks a little lost, right? But now, from what I seen, I know it's just one fight and it is Montana, but she did look a little bit more like she was fine, almost close to finding herself, like strength wise, clinch, the clinch fighting. It looked good. It did. I mean, I do want to see it in there with a. I did say JoJo, but I hate to do JoJo like that. Now that I think about it, but it's a ranked fighter. It's a ranked fighter. So if JoJo wants it, yeah, I would say yeah, make that match because she's not. Macy doesn't need a top 5 yet. She's still growing too. Let her get some names and more fighters around her to get confidence. Maybe like the loser of Andrea Lee, Vivian Arujo. Maybe that's who I think. Maybe after one more fight, Jennifer Maya should fight. I just think Macy's in a better zone right now. And she said it herself that she's just trying to go through the journey. And if she continues to do that, I think you will see a much more improved fighter. As long as she doesn't get ahead of herself and her hype anymore, she should be on to something. Cole said she looked really good. Yeah, I thought she did. I thought she really did. Especially against somebody that we all picked to say had better tools, but she completely just shut down. Let me see. Mark said, I'm not completely sure what Macy needs to improve upon yet. I can make a few comments, of course, but I feel like I need to see her out to work really. I need to see her out work to really see her weaknesses, right? I think one of her weaknesses was, to me, one of her weaknesses was the fact that she did a lot of chasing and not punching straight and just depending on the power, you know. But this one, she did nice, like striking her way into the clinch and just all around positioning. Beautiful positioning. Zama said Moreau's takedowns are from clinch positions. That's Barber's specialization. So I don't know how about Moreau's wrestling efficiency in this fight. Yeah. Yeah, those clinch positions, how she like works them down and takes you down. Yeah, because if she was matching Barber and she's going strength for strength, that would be interesting. And her being bigger and stronger now, that might using her strength well, that'd be a problem. Moreau on the outside, I think, would be her better game. I think Moreau's boxing would be good. High Five said Rose versus Andrade could be draw, but Rose's win looks bad by the damage on her face. Rose would say by the bell. Uh-oh. Let's see. TJ said, I want to see Casey O'Neill derailment so bad. Won't be long. I probably say Casey is another delusional fighter just like Macy. Oh, wow. I don't think I don't I think the delusion was real early on, but I think Macy's starting to get it. And I don't know if Casey's like delusional. Casey's still working, so I'm not gonna say she's like delusional. TJ said, how do you define a hype train? Hype train. Let's see. Hype train would be somebody that is not as good as they are put out to be. I think that's the best. I'm gonna be short on it. Somebody that's put out to be better than they are, and people are pushing that person too fast to be in a position that they shouldn't be in yet. If that makes sense. Yeah. Ulysses said Casey still thinks she'll be champ in 2 years. Santos is next if Valentina retires. Pretty much. Possibly Chikagan could get it. You never know. If Val retired, she could be it. Gordon said if JoJo isn't actually over the hill, but just had some bad nights, she should easily outstrike Barber. I don't know if she would easily outstrike her because, JoJo does get hit. Like JoJo's defense, JoJo gets hit with right hands. And, if Macy comes bombing in there, that would be an easy night for her to drop her. Like, JoJo has a good clinch game, good front kicks to the face, but if Macy walks through, it'll be a problem. All right, let's see. MJ said Casey needs to fight the killers like Santos, Firo, etc. before getting the belt. Yeah, true. So MJ, you do agree with me then? I mean, like, the long ongoing argument between BJ, we say Firo, BJ feels like, BJ feels like Casey O'Neill's and Manone are on the same level. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not. Because if you think they're the killers, then I think we know Casey O'Neill needs a lot of work to do. Where were you at when we were having those discussions? They always get heated too. I'm just saying. Yeah, hype train, Macy Barber 1.0. Yeah, that was they were hyping her. TJ said, I just defined Casey O'Neill. I didn't say that. I didn't say any names. I mean, y'all, if you want to put those words with that, I mean, that's you. I didn't say that. I mean, she's number 13, number 14. She's said I won't be champion another 3 or 4 years. So I don't think it's really her that they're hyping. All right, another 2 minutes. Gordon said Barber's probably stronger in the clinch, but JoJo may be wiser. Tie clinch, I would go with JoJo. But if she gets wrestled up, I would go with Barber. Let's see. Santos won't be champion even if she retires. Firo is a nightmare matchup for her. Watch Wonder Boy versus Luke. That's how they match up. We'll see. MJ said Casey will never beat Firo. I agree with that 100%. Well, yeah, where were you at, Chin? Chin said Casey and Manone are not on the same tier. I believe that. I've been arguing that. Because sometimes there's just certain things that you can see. Like, this person here is more mature. They work. Yeah, Gatto's quiet. Like, I follow Gatto on Instagram and Facebook. She's just working right now. TJ said he wants Grasso versus O'Neal if she's going to duck Manone. You probably get that fight first. You probably will get that fight. You might look out and get your fight. Yeah. That's what I said. Like he said, I described Casey O'Neill. No, she is living up to her hype. Yeah, to an extent. Like she's not pushing herself any faster. Like she's not trying to go over like Macy did in the very beginning. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, oh, you put those words, you know. I described the hype train, but I didn't not in no way say she was one. Mark said, I don't know how to process Macy out clinching Montana, but not Grasso. Did Macy really improve that much since she fought Grasso? Was Grasso's clinch technique just good, or was Montana a paper tiger? Good questions, man. That's what I was saying that night of the fight. I was like, Alexa might have just been that better, like in the clinch. I said she might have just been better. Like if you look at the way Macy, but then again, something about the way Macy was approaching that fight did look a little different. So I do have to give her credit as far as her approach. Like I think she did improve, like as far as how she charged in and would clinch up with Montana. But then again, Grasso, she also would get positioned in a better. She would put her back on the fence in a better position than Montana. Montana was letting herself get like wrapped up. Yeah, it's probably a little bit of all of that. She's, I gotta say, Macy got stronger. Alexa may have been a little bit better than that in Montana, which she is. You know, dang. Do y'all think Valentina's gonna stop Santos like TJ said? James Perez, what's going on? He said what you said about GOAT Talk. Just got here. We haven't really oh, GOAT Talk. Like I said, I'm discontinuing GOAT Talk on my part, James Perez. Like, I'm not gonna give anybody the greatest of all time talk anymore. So since this is the last time I ever do it, like I'm I'm discontinuing it. Like if you ask me who the greatest of all time in WMMA is, I can't say. Like I said, for boxing, it's been around longer. I can say that. I can give you my opinion. Yeah, it's just that since you just came in, Gordon, I envision Valentina float like a butterfly, stinging like a bee until going in for the kill. Submission on a bruised, exhausted, frustrated Taylor. Darby said Firo versus Murphy. If Firo wins, title shot. I think she does win that fight. Firo beats Lauren Murphy. Macy put that shadow boxing BS she was on in Grasso's fight put to bed. Yeah, that's improvement. That's a good point. That's something right there. Stamina put out. Macy Barber was not shadow boxing, so yeah, there was improvement. She went straight for the head. Like that's why I was saying like this style that she improved on was so much better. And I think that's what it was. Like I didn't see a lot of the shadow boxing, the standing around, shooting from a distance. It was straight forward inside, using her IQ, using her body, her strength, and punching in close. And that's what she needs to do. Like put that shadow boxing stuff. Shadow boxing biz has got to go. And that's a good improvement. That's a big part of it. That's why I was saying earlier, like she don't need to be striking from the outside if she's not going to measure her distance or in her range well. Like Montana brought that up, but see, Montana didn't know she improved. Remember, I don't know if y'all heard the interview. Montana said that she has trouble finding range, right? Montana has trouble. Macy Barber has trouble finding range. That's what Montana said. So what did Macy Barber do? Made that adjustment. She ain't played a shadow boxing game. No pawing. She came straight in, close distance. Ain't gonna play the game on the outside. She said, I'm close distance, and this is where we're gonna fight in the phone booth. So there was improvements, good improvements there by Macy. James Perez said June 11th will keep solidifying who the GOAT is, the real GOAT. See, I'm gonna let James Perez get away with it. Like I said, y'all can have GOAT talk. I'm not stamping anybody GOAT until another so many years. Right? Like, yeah, if you missed the beginning of the show, yeah, y'all can hear it. But I'm gonna retire the GOAT talk for MMA. Boxing, yeah, I'll talk about it all day. That's how we do. So I'm gonna be forced to do it. Colton said, "Does Misha have a fight book?" Yeah, Lauren Murphy in July, right? Zama said, "James Perez, how many chef posters you have?" Yeah, send me one if you have one. I'm James Perez. If you got one, yeah, let me get one. Let me get your best one. Australia, what's going on? He said hour 5. Uh, Australia, you missed the GOAT talk. You missed I posted up in community. I told everybody why I'm gonna discontinue that GOAT talk. You missed talk on Joanna and her 5-rounder. Mackenzie Dern wants to fight Jan Janan. Dern, Macy Barber, Lemos talk. And you also missed don't talk about anybody from any other channel over here in a bad way. That was something we had to address right away. No negative comments about another channel. Oh, he actually ain't got any. He said 0, but I have her t-shirt, but really I'm not a casual. I just recognize real greatness. Well, you don't sound like a casual. I mean, when you're talking about her, when you talk about Valentina, you don't sound like a casual. I don't think a casual would know a lot of stuff that you know about her, right? Yeah, Damon Martin reported that Whaley versus Joanna is a 3-rounder. Joanna says she wants one, though. Stamina said I got cardio like Arujo. Damn. TJ said cardio is like Arujo. No, I got the this is Chikagan's cardio all the time. MJ's hungry. She's leaving. I'm getting hungry too, so I'm about to leave. Okay. Cole said, I think Erin Blanchfield has the most potential in that division. She could beat Calvillo right now. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Erin Blanchfield, yeah, she's in my 4. Gordon Morris, Calvillo versus Lemos. Gotta go with Lemos. I'll go with Lemos on that one. This version of Calvillo versus Lemos, that's a good style matchup for Lemos. Hard leg kicks, solid jabs. She doesn't have to worry about the power and the physical strength of, Lemos, that is, yeah, she would win that. Caitlin Kamboa. Yeah, there you go. Oh boy. I'm stretched. Oh man. Yeah, there's some stuff I gotta talk about too tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna just save that for tomorrow. There's always something to go in on. What I didn't go in strongly on. Ooh, Brian said he don't know if Aaron beats Casey right now. Ooh, really? I might have to go with Aaron on that fight. I think Aaron's a little bit more polished. Aaron's got a little bit more skill set in her kickboxing, I think. And oh man, she's a black belt in BJJ too, Her wrestling is very, very good too. Good takedowns. I think Miranda's stronger than we give her credit for here. Zaman ain't gonna give her any credit, but Miranda's strong, and Aaron was like big sister in her, right? Tucking her in. Gordon says Cynthia's ranked now, strawweight. I don't think so. Still not ranked. But she going back to 125 though. Going back to 125, and it's Nina Ansaroff. Why? I don't know. Colton said the way Aaron dominated Miranda was really impressive. Exactly. Yeah, like strength wise, like how she was taking her down was very impressive. Grappler versus grappler. Uh, who has better striking? I would go with Aaron. Yeah, I don't think James Perez is a fanboy. I think he's a hardcore fan. Like, there's a difference. Like, hardcore fan, there's fanboy, simps. I think he's a hardcore fan over. He studies her, he knows her, he acknowledges her dominance and that nobody can touch her right now, but he knows she has weaknesses, right? Like fighters I like, that I'll tell you all day long that so and so ain't gonna touch him, but certain styles they can't handle, but there's nobody really touching the bullet right now. So I think if I can agree on that, and I'm not a hardcore fan, yeah, he's not a fanboy or a simp. James Perez is a hardcore fan, not a casual. TJ said I'm gonna do some BJ. I did come at BJ reckless once and got handled like when was that? He said I came at BJ once and got handled. I don't remember that. That ain't never happened. He said, wait a minute. He said, comedy. You mean you must got that in reverse? I ain't never seen that happen. He said, my fight IQ weak? Oh, never. Never. Ain't never happened. He got he got that reversed. Gordon said Andrea and Miranda have been training together in preparation for Vivian. That's good work right there. I mean, she's been working with Miranda for a while now. And I think, she's been working with Miranda during Antonina and Calvillo training, so it's been rubbing off on her. She's really been working on her, grappling with her and, pacing. That's good. No, Barber's not in there yet. Not off of a win over Montana. That's not enough, Australia. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Got to see a little bit more from Barber. Oh wow! Look at TJ. He talking trash. He said, "I got hands like Julian Roberts." Oh wow! Lack of head movement. He said, "Questionable cardio." Oh man. He said I came in regular on BJ like aspirin. Never. I'm not the wrestler. BJ's the wrestler. Australia said BJ down to 2 threats now. He said Montana left that building. Wow, that's true. Who else is gone? Um, who else is gone? Alexa, right? No, Alexa. She exited herself. She said, Manon, oh, I'm out. Okay, y'all. Let's see. 13 of y'all here, hit that like if you haven't. It is about time to wrap it up now. Because we always get caught up. He's at the secret videos. Yeah. Let me see here. said, I don't say she's boring, but I get why folks do. I just believe that with her skill set and tools, she could confidently press the issue a bit more. Who's that? Oh, y'all talking about Bullet? Oh, hold on. And Brian says she has weaknesses. She's pretty. She's wide bad to beat her. She relies on counter. So if you make your lead, you find openings. Holly could have beat her, but she made Holly lead. Yeah, that's true, man. Holly was big, strong. I gotta watch that fight again too. But yeah. Yeah, so let me jump on this thing right here real quick. Y'all. Yeah, we ain't got nothing going on this weekend though, y'all. I mean, isn't really maybe we needed a break from the last one. We had so many main events for WMMA, all down to Shanna Mo Young versus what is her name? Gina Mazzani. Yeah, Gina Mazzani, 125. So they trying to stay afloat at 125. And I'm gonna watch that whatchamacallit tonight too. I'm gonna watch that little what do you call it? The pre-show to the Tough House. That's on ESPN Plus. I'm gonna see that. Want to see what Amanda and Juliana talking about. I want to see these flyweights, see what they're looking like. We'll see. Derek Bailey, what's going on? That's my man, Derek Bailey in the building. I'm just about to get up out of here, man. How you been, man? Derek, you been keeping up with this boxing thing, man? Like, we got Spence and Crawford, hopefully on collision course. What'd you think of that Fury White fight, Derek? Mark Robinson said if Val gets out to an early lead like she did on Holly, it can be more difficult to beat her. She would prefer to counter strike. Yeah. This weekend, we got we got Taylor Serrano this weekend, Shakur Stevenson, and Valdez. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna look at Taylor Serrano, man. Like, how could I forget that? That's a close fight though. Serrano was right there. I mean, Taylor, she's good. Oh, Derek said he didn't watch the Fury fight. It was okay. It was all right. It was a knockout, but I wasn't really blown away. Gordon said, don't forget to check out Anissa Mexican. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. And I'm gonna watch this Tough House show. So yeah, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Y'all don't take that bait. Cause Almond done slung the bait out here. He caught a whole mess of fish. So yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat once again. I'm about to get up out of here. Good conversation. If you missed it, go back and listen, and y'all can hear what I was talking about earlier about whole goat thing. Yeah, Australia, Fury White. I watched it. Somebody had it on YouTube, so I looked at it. I was laid back in bed watching it, and I was like, okay, this is okay. It's not much. So, Train Spread, so who you got? Serrano, Taylor. I'm going to go with Serrano. I'm not 100% on it. 50-50 fight. I'm going to go with Serrano. I think she has more power, but Taylor, she can move. She definitely got the skills, man. Yeah, I can see that too, Taylor, by decision. Like, if I'm really, really digging, but I think Serrano's been around a minute. She has the pressure that Taylor's never faced before. Yeah, Derek said he's got Serrano also. Okay. All right, yo. So, James Brett Shakur wins. I think he wins. I think Shakur can win. Yeah. Don't be surprised if Valdez, gives him some tough rounds. Though. Valdez quit. Valdez quit too. He's good. So hit that thumbs up if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. See some new people come through. Shout out. Yeah. We back on tomorrow. Roughly around 7:30ish, something like that. And yeah, got some things I'll discuss tomorrow. Like always, it is on 3 hours and 20 minutes. There we go again. I'm gonna lose a mess of subs now. We've been on too long. Let's play, y'all. I'm out, y'all. Combo Breaker 99. Make sure y'all subscribe. Peace.